So that's mine right there, right?
Yeah.
Every time I come in the press room, you in the press room. Working on our Stars Hot Tronic heat press. Using all the vinyl. Making all the picture tees. I like vinyl.
I'm about to just load these boxes up on that over.
Man, you gotta be a crazy little brother to get fired on your day off. What you get caught stealing boxes for?
Yeah, I didn't get caught stealing no boxes. He said he caught me though.
You get our rent paid.
Yeah. The commercial rolling. It's rolling 9 seconds in on Facebook. See, it's a little back.
Yeah. All right. It's all good. But it's not on the commercial.
The commercial was playing.
Every time I come in the press room, you in the press room. Working on our Stars Hot Tronic heat press. Using all the vinyl. Making all the picture tees. I like vinyl.
I'm about to just load these boxes up on that over.
Man, you gotta be a crazy little brother to get fired on your day off. What you get caught stealing boxes for?
Yeah, I didn't get caught stealing no boxes. He said he caught me though.
You get our rent paid.
Why don't you go in there and ask the girls real fast to see if they help us pay our rent?
That don't sound like a bad plan at all.
What's up, Pops? What's up, Smokey?
I'm trying to set up a meeting with the girls, man.
Okay.
Y'all wanna help me and Craig pay our rent?
Craig still owe me money from the last time he got me. He gotta learn a lesson. He shouldn't be stealing. Go ask him to tell that girl from last night to give him some money.
What they say? They said it's slow for real.
I'm about to just ask boss when we get our job that night.
Of course you can. Yeah!
Yeah.
And,
Y'all actually won an award, the Boss Mag 2009 Ohio Hip Hop Award. Y'all won for that media outlet thing.
man, I don't even know. Yeah.
Like y'all won. He didn't even know he won.
What'd you say? Who was it?
You won the Boss Magazine 2009 Ohio Hip Hop Award. Congratulations.
That's legendary.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy Peanut, aka Dash Resource. I got my man Stackers. Guess he ain't here today. Nah, feel me? I got my man Kevin Easy, man, with me here today, man. But please make sure if you are new here, y'all go to YouTube to check out our YouTube page. It's called The Legendary People Podcast. We have a bunch of keynote interviews with some of the most legendary people from Ohio and other places as well. Just a couple people we done had on there. We had DJ Jelly. We done had from DJ Jelly down to Skeeter Fly, from Mayor Jeffrey Mims all the way to Desiree Timms. You know what I mean? So we are definitely putting together some real dope interviews because we interviewed nothing but legends here, man. So I also want to give a shout out to our sponsors, which is Kiara Wine. You know what I'm saying? When our drinks we on a day right now, you know what I'm saying? It's feeling real good up in here. Sheikhs for breakfast. Make sure y'all go down there. Holler at my man Karan C, man. Some real good breakfast down there. For lunch, you head down to Agnes All Natural Grill. If you are ever injured in an accident, you contact Michael Wright, man. Make the right choice, man. I think that's all. Oh, and the Baby Amazon, man. Make sure y'all go to theshoparea.com and holler at the Baby Amazon. From the store to your door and forward. So, man, you won't be here. Listen, bro, if you're going to be cutting that check in half, you got to be here to be doing your commercials. You know what I mean? You're not a sweat with him, man. You know what I mean? So, without further ado, we have no legend higher than who we have here today. We got, I mean, she got so many names. I mean, we'll call her Shorty G today. How you doing, man?
What's
How
up,
you doing? You look amazing. You look amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Likewise.
So here on the Legendary People Podcast, we like to find out where our legends come from. So without further ado, where'd you grow up?
Right here in Dayton.
Word.
Right here in Dayton, all over the west side. Started out in Jefferson Township.
JT.
Ended up leaving there second grade, and then ended up off of the Berg on Greenwich Village. Then went to Greenwich Village to Athens, then Athens to Salem. The Salem to Audubon, then Audubon to off of Lakeview.
Wow.
And so went to about every school.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah.
There was a lot of moving around there. So I mean, who all was at home with you? Was it mom, dad, brother, sister?
Yeah. So I'm the second youngest of 7. And my father passed when I had just turned 6. Yeah, and then but like I said, I was the second half. So we had the older ones were assigned to the younger ones. You know, it wasn't them your kids, mama, I ain't watching your kids. You know what I'm saying is, you know, you got her, you better make sure she right, you better make sure her hair done, you better make sure she where she's supposed to be. You know, so they hated having me. Because the question of the day was, where's Gwen? I'd go to school, I lived 2 blocks from one school. After school, I'm like miles away. I got on the bus or somebody. You know, and finally my mother got to the point where I called her, you gonna come and get me? You gonna get home? You know what I'm saying? Like, get there. Like, you just gonna keep on, you know. But I moved so much, and I would finally, once I felt like I made friends, you know what I'm saying, it was time to go. You know, so I would go home, you know, go back to the, you know, hood. So I grew up everywhere. Everywhere.
So, like, what kind of person was your dad? Or like, what did they tell you about your dad since, you know what I'm saying, like, you lost him so early? My
father was, like, pissed. You know what I'm saying? He is a race car driver. He was actually the first one to cut the top off his Impala.
What?
And I never knew why I always loved Impalas. You know what I'm saying? I had a gold old school, then I had a newer one, you know what I'm saying? But I never knew why I loved them so much. But, like, when I was born, like, there wasn't even no hospital. So they had to just go. So it ended up turning into a high-speed chase with the police, right? They're chasing my dad, right? And it's like in March, my birthday, you know, so it's winter, you know, and my daddy didn't warm his car up, of course, because I was on my way, you know what I'm saying? So the police, he run until his car, his engine blew. So thank God it wasn't these days where they was going to shoot you, you know what I'm saying, and everything. But so they ended up getting me there and everything. But yeah, but my dad, he was like, he would take the trash out. Next thing you know, he done pulled a knife on the people across the thing. Like to where my mom, like my dad was the only child, and then my mom, she only had a sister. So her sister's family would drive like 5 hours. It ain't funny, but they would drive like 5 hours to my grandparents' house, and we would drive like 30 minutes. We'd get there, my dad would do something. They wouldn't stay like a half hour, 30 minutes before they would get in the car and go right back, because his temper was just so, but he was just honest, you know what I'm saying? But he had a temper, and I once I really saw it in myself, I was like, yeah. And I realized, like, I used to hurt my mom a lot because I always spoke my truth, whether you liked it, felt it or not. You know, I just was gonna speak my truth, and then I realized later, I'm like, man, she probably be seeing him and me. Right. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he was aggressive, you know what I mean? And so I know I hurt her a lot, you know what I'm saying? But never on purpose. Right. But she taught me to be honest, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I was just that one that if you made me mad, she also taught me if you ain't had nothing good to say, don't say nothing. It would be like a month. She'd be like, it's time for you to start talking to them again. I'm like, I still ain't got nothing really to say, but when I do say it, you know, but it was fun though. I mean, I was, like I said, the youngest, but we would have good times. Like, we would take the couch pillows and we would like turn that and play football with those. My brothers used to let me play football with them. You know, I scored my first touchdown when I was like 5. Wow. Right there in Jefferson Township on Courtney. I remember that. But yeah, so it was fun. We had a lot of fun, you know, especially with music. So I'm about to get into that. So you start rapping around the age of 10, right? Yeah. So like, what was your inspiration? Fatback, like it was. Walk us through the day that you fell in love with music. Man, you know what? I can't remember what time it was, because I was already playing the drums and I was already playing the violin. Of course, I had to play the piano. Everybody had to play the piano and music. You know what I mean? So, but I was already engaged with music and everything. And then when Fatback came out, was it King Tim III and everything? I mean, it was just so we had an 8-track, right? Right. So, and we had the Mr. Microphone with the orange foam thing on it, whatever. Yeah, it was big hard. Yeah, so you could have, like, when that came out, man, I just used to cut down the two of the tracks with the vocals, and then it's just the music playing, and then I could come through the microphone and just rap to the beat. And I mean, we used to have so much fun. Oh my God, I would write songs all night just to spit them in school. You know what I'm saying? And just like, oh man, just it was. We grew up. I know everybody feel like a lot of us may feel like our childhood was the greatest of all
Yes,
times.
I feel the
but
same way.
definitely here, like people gotta understand. I used to live like a couple of blocks down from Trotman's studio.
Wow.
You know what I'm
Legendary.
saying? Like literally every day, walk past there. You know, walking to school, going to the to the little chicken place on the corner and everything. But I mean, it's like but to wake up in Dayton with the music playing and to know now that it was playing all over the country. But but it was mainly like just right up the block, you know what I'm saying? And it was just I mean, that was like the good times. And then to wake up in the morning with WDAO back in the day, you know what I'm saying? That's when they used to play gospel and all that and everything, and then it gets going or whatever. But I remember back in the day when they would play like the top 10 and you could or get on the request line.
Yeah,
they used to get so tired of me calling because these kids be texting the day and they be like this fast. I was like that on that phone.
On that phone, call that number.
Was not getting in before me. That I think I'm the reason why they said one winner per household. But I used to want to hear what I wanted to hear. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was a day.
So, like, what kind of student were you?
Oh, you know what? Okay.
And what school did you go to?
Okay. So I went to Blairwood, to Gettysburg, to Cornell, Meadowdale, Fairview, Fairport, Cleveland, Stivers, and then Fairview Junior High. Then I went to Meadowdale. Then I got caught in a fight, and I had registered to a house I didn't live at, and they found out and they kicked me out. But I lived in Dunbar's area, you know what I'm saying? But my best friends, you know what I'm saying, that I had, you remember I said, once you make them friends, and when you finally got like, back to back, one of them, you know what I'm saying, like, what school we going to next? My mom go out of town. She come back. I enrolled into Trotwood. I mean, I did. Back in the day, you could do stuff like that. Like I used to could sign yourself out of school. Yep. I either went late or was leaving early. You know what I'm saying? And while I was in school, I was a really good student because I could learn. Like I said, I'm a sponge. You know what I'm saying? So I could learn whatever, and I love to learn. Like now, I study neuroscience just on GP. You know what I'm saying and stuff. But like my thing was Gwen's a good student, but she tends to talk a bit much. But I do my work right quick, and then I mess with everybody. You know what I mean? And then I would, like I said, I would be up writing songs all night. So a lot of times I'd be in class, head down. And my teacher, I was a smart ass. I was. Yeah, I remember my teacher, my head was down. She was like, Miss Blackstone. She was like, what did I just say? And I was like, woo, 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 woo. And she ain't saying that. And I opened my eyes. I was like, I ain't sleep. I'm environmentally dreaming. Like, I was just resting my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hear everything that's going on. My body is just tired.
Dreaming.
Yeah.
That's a bar. Oh, that's a bar.
Listen.
Oh my God.
But them same teachers used to tell me, I don't like rap, but I like your rap. Because, and they talked about the way I would articulate. I mean, I'm very studious. Like etymology was like my favorite subject. Like I love words and everything. But it was always a message in the music. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just doing like whatever I felt. That's what I was doing. So like. So a lot of times people would be like, always used to label me as hardcore. I was always mad. You know what I'm saying? It was always real. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but then it was like even when I did my whole New York deal, well, I know
wait,
I'm going to start that.
Because I also want to ask you, like...
No, I was a good student. So,
okay. Yeah. Who were some of your, like, childhood friends, like your day ones? Like,
oh, man, my friends, man.
Yeah.
Pam, LaRonda. You know what I'm saying? We was the POPs. We was like day ones. I had a homegirl, Kat. We was day ones. And those be the ones that like if I see them now, we still, you know what I mean? And it's like, but like I said, basically like I really move with the music clique. You know what I'm saying? But I moved so much, and I used to get in a lot of fights. You know what I'm saying? So, but. It was my baby sister really is my day one. She's my day one, my forever one. You know what I'm saying? She that one that like when I go through things out here, because a lot of people be thinking I'm an only child. You just don't see my siblings because they're not out here. You know, I'm that black sheep. You know what I'm saying? I'm that one that like. Well, we're gonna get to it later, but yeah.
Yeah. So you talk about fights growing up. I mean, were they trying to make like pick on you because you was pretty and stuff like that, or what was that about?
You know what? I don't know. I can say this: my baby sister, she made friends everywhere she went. I was always, I don't know. I just
friction is a bunch of friction every time you.
Yeah, but I was always so to myself to where. if I didn't like you, if you didn't like me, if I didn't like you, it was for a reason. You're never just not gonna like me because I just from day one was just some little bitch. That'll never be the case.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Never ever. I walk in love. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Sometimes that too loyal type love to people that I know ain't loyal to me. You know what I'm saying? But you're not gonna sit up here and I'm not gonna see nothing bad come to you and I'm there and I ain't gonna watch a group of people jump you or nothing like that. Right. I could not like you, but I ain't gonna watch that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, give them that. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least give some one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? And then later on it turned into stories sometimes like as if I was a part of a jumping deal. Nah. It's just that when your people start trying to interact in a fight that my people was in one-on-one and I'm not jumping in it, but you go, I'm going to remove you. No, ain't no jumping. So now it looks like you know what I'm saying? And then the place where we were at when that took place, it was a place where, you know, you just shouldn't go there, period, because it's just like one of them tourist trap places, you know. You're going to, you know, I wouldn't even let people come see me when I live there.
Wow.
People from here, nah, you can't come here because they're going to fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Like the police, you know. This is my language, so.
Yeah, that's all good. No, you can speak freely.
Yeah, I mean, this was like the way I am now. This was my mouth in the house with all the other kids and nobody else. They say, but Gwen did, but it's like, I always have my own rules. But my thing is, when it comes to cuss words, I feel like you should really be focusing more on curse words. You know what I'm saying? You curse at these kids, tell them they ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? They ain't never going to be nothing. Call somebody stupid. You allowing that. But if I call them a bitch, you know, something that, you know, maybe I'm calling you a bitch because you just bitching all the time. You know what I'm saying? Not saying you just nothing ass. You know what I'm saying? Not nothing on that language. I know my language is horrible.
That's all good.
But I'm just saying, it's like, I think those things, when you tell somebody they ain't gonna be nothing, and when you talk down to somebody or you say something so hurtful, if you ain't gonna try and lift them up, that's one of the times you just don't say nothing at all. You know what I mean? But you know, so I think those words, and so I felt like if I say shit, I mean, you know what I mean? Those shouldn't be the words, the things people focus on. But we too busy occupied with all these little man-made rules and stuff. That's like saying sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like, my children know, don't be saying you sorry. You can apologize.
Right.
And I had one of my children had one of their family members get upset with her because she wouldn't say she's sorry. Right. So I'm like, but I wasn't there. She said, Mom, but I said I apologize, but I'm not gonna say I'm sorry. Right. And they're like, well, say you sorry. She like, no, I apologize. You know, and it's like, but that's what she's being raised. Based off of what
you've been like raising. So,
because you ain't no
we'll get back to. So I got you. So we gonna get back to, like, for instance, so like that's kind of how you was raised as well, right? So like you kind of had those morals, those principles, and those values growing up.
No.
Nah,
my mom was a fashion designer. You know what I'm saying? And she was a single parent because, like I said, my father died when I was 6. So she would have those big family meetings and sit us down and lecture us. Like we made a song for her for the pandemic because she's in a nursing home. I almost wanted to say she's incarcerated, but that's how it is to them. If they can't come home, they feel like they're locked up.
Right.
You know, and sometimes they're treated like that. You know what I'm saying? So, but. Man.
Yeah, so like I made a song for her.
Yeah, we made a song for her to help her understand, because her mind, you know what I'm saying, gets to wander, you know what I'm saying? So we made a song, and where it comes on, where when she lived with me before she went to a nursing home, it was just like, it was to the point where I couldn't stay up 24 hours a day. She'd be trying to leave, run out in the rain, and I finally go to the health food store to get her some else, because I had her brain together where she was all the way on point, but she was still trying to leave.
Wow.
But she always left all the time, though. So, you know, when I couldn't take care of her no more, and that's when she ended up in a nursing home. And, but yeah, so we made the song, and just to kind of calm her down, you know, so where she's talking at first, and that's how she used to talk to us as kids. Like, when she would live with me, like how this is out here studio, in my house, you would walk down the hall, be like, Mom, come here. And I'd had her set up, and then I tell her to go, and she just would like go in.
And lecture to us.
So I took those vocals off of that video and put it on the song. Right. And I had her lecturing at the beginning. She starts off with, I'm so glad you took time to join me. You know what I mean? So when she's talking, she talks about it's real deep. And then I come in, I flow and I rap to her, and then I had all my sisters and brothers call me because I have them and I would record them a little message to mom, and they all started their verse with just to talk to her. Hey mom, it's just I said we're gonna call him Hey Mom, So we made this song for her and everything just to kind of like help her calm down and stuff. But that's what music is to me, using it for good. You know what I mean? But
So during the time you going to school, you're still writing and you're still rapping. Did you start to accumulate like a little fan base going on when it come to rapping? Did you start?
Yeah.
Who are some people that like you start to meet in music at that time?
Well, first when like everybody knew me for rapping everywhere because I went to so many schools.
What was your first rap name?
Gwenny B.
Gwenny B.
And then one day I was around the corner from Hilltop, right? And so a bunch of my friends, probably about 3 of my friends came over there. They was like, hey, there's like some dude over there in Hilltop over there freestyling, battling people. They came to get me, right? So I'm like, okay, I forget whatever I was doing. So I ran around there with them. And me and him see each other. We just started laughing and hug. It was Tommy.
Oh, wow, Tommy Owens.
Yeah, he was like my brother.
Legendary handshake.
Yeah, we go like way back. You know what I'm saying? And so by that time, we didn't know each other was rapping and stuff. And so then I had been with my homegirl Sharita D, and so then we all came together. It was me, Sharita, Tommy, his little sister Shelly, and then Frankie Pup, Frank Pridup. So we formed the group First Family.
What?
And then First Family, we were definitely a force to be reckoned with.
Yes.
You feel what I'm saying? Like if we were on the roster to be in the talent show, everybody wanted to go on before us. You know what I'm saying? I mean because Tommy was, the way he promotes today, he was always like that.
Always.
He was promoting and people was waiting to see us, but we got robbed a couple of times back when, and I think Durrell might have been there easing them. But I think this little white dude was there clogging. This is when they did the citywide talent shows.
What's
right?
Clogging?
Clogging is when they put on them.
On them
shoes, right? And they stand there and they do that little thing or whatever. So man, when they said he won, I mean, it was just like, I don't think he moved like, what? And then, I mean, that was like a blatant, And we were doing things for like the National Black Cancer Society. We were doing like TV shows, Black Lingo with Marsha Barnhart on WDTN. I mean, every time I turned around, Tommy had us doing something. When then we was opening up for shows. That's back when first people we opened up for was, that I remember was, it was the Luke Skywalker tour came through, and it was Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince and everything. And right around that time, we had done a couple of things in between there, but I don't be remembering half the stuff or whatever.
Right.
But I remember those things that had an impact. And so, like, this is like, I had just graduated from high school, came out of Dunbar, you know what I'm saying, 87, you know what I'm saying. And so I had just came out of school, and I had a scholarship to go to Central to play the drums.
Okay.
But I had got pregnant with my little girl.
Right.
So, I stayed home and everything.
But you ran into Will Smith. Yeah. So Tommy still had us doing shows and everything. So I was backstage, and we had already performed and everything, and we killed it. I mean, First Family, I mean, we still, like, I don't remember all those songs. Like I said, I was writing like 3 songs a night. Our friends now, because Tommy could post a line from one of our songs, and the thread's going to finish it. I don't forget the song a million times, but they knew our stuff like that. And the crazy thing was that we never recorded. We always talk about it. I done had many studios. Tommy got access to studios, but we just never recorded together. And like Frankie Pup, he here in the city now. I just got back from the A, you know what I'm saying? I'll be dipping back out here real quick. But we never recorded. But from that, we met, like I said, Will Smith, and he was like, you got an interesting story about Will Smith.
Yeah, so we had got finished flowing, and I was just standing there, and then so he was just looking at me. He was like, he said something. I was like, huh? And so then he was like, you having a baby? And I was like, yeah. He was like, he's a lucky man. So I used to love telling my ex that, you know what I'm saying?
How'd you feel when he said that to you during that time?
For real, like, it was just, I just said thank you, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate the compliment, because I was taught how to receive a compliment, and I didn't see different people that rapped as like no super celebrities, but when someone says that to you, and especially when the person they are calling a lucky man don't treat you like he the lucky, you know what I'm saying? So
Wow.
that shit like is stuck with me, you know what I'm
I mean,
saying?
what kind of stuff was you going through? If you don't mind just giving us a little bit of that.
I mean, because he wasn't Will Smith then, he was Fresh Prince,
was
the
Fresh
rapper
Prince,
coming
yeah,
out, right?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so it was a
yeah.
different kind of
Yeah,
problem.
yep. So it was even before them, but it was just like I got married like straight out of high school.
Straight out of high school?
Yeah, straight out of high school, you know, and like I said, you know, my mom, like I said, I was always that kid, you know, and when I think about things, I wouldn't have dealt with my mouth too much, you know what I'm saying? And she never physically, like, she used to tell us to go get me a switch or go get me a racetrack, because she was like one of them orange racetracks that you used to put together.
Yeah. I got my eyes where I was a bunch of times.
She said go get a switch, but I never got it. See, she tell us to go get it. I'm leaving until you just gonna be glad I'm home. You know what I'm saying?
My God.
I'm just gonna leave. I never understood.
I'm leaving until you be so glad I came
I
home
never
with no
understood why they would actually go get something to get there. That's like somebody.
I'm still in that.
That's like somebody execution style, and you know they about to kill you, and I'm gonna assist you.
Right, nah.
I was not leaving. I was not coming back till you just happy I'm home, you know. And I remember my brother chased me one time because my mom couldn't. I was bad. I really was. I just was a free spirit,
Right.
like now. So
Right.
but like I said, so I got married and it was.
What was the reason why you got married at that time? Was it because you just didn't want to go home, or you wanted to do something different, or is it like?
Why did I get married?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, by the time I was like coming out of high school, I had been on my own. You know what I mean? And I just feel like one thing we all got to be mindful of, not necessarily as a parent, as a sibling, just as a person in general, and you know a person, you know what I'm saying? You got to check on them because you don't know what is going on. You know what I'm saying? And stuff be real. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I feel like if we don't intervene, they're going to get preyed upon. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, you know, when I look at things, I mean, I was easy bait.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I had my own house. You know what I'm saying? My parents was gone. You know what I'm saying? And I was just easy prey. And I was never like a gullible type of person. But, you know, when you are a trusting person, you know what I'm saying? Especially when there's, you know, kids involved. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing like I used to tell people when my girls, because I got grown kids, you feel what I'm saying? But when they were coming up, and when the people on the block, if we lived in like a mixed neighborhood, whatever, they thought they was gonna mess with these kids or whatever, you know, my senses be like so off the chain, you know what I'm saying? Like my third eye, you know what I'm saying? I always been like, when people be like, well, I ain't never been asleep.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all just now understanding why I'm the way I am. You know what I'm saying? This is to idiots.
Right.
But anyway, as far as like I could be in the house and all of a sudden I just stop, get up, hit the steps, going downstairs. My daughter coming up the steps like, hey, they down there calling the police on there, woo woo woo. I tell them people, look, you don't know these, you don't know. I'm all these kids' parents. You got a problem with any of these kids? Come see me.
Right.
You don't be calling the police. You don't be letting no dogs go on them. They told me my daughter had to get off the bike and run. I get to beating on all their windows, all their doors. It's over in 5 hours. I'm beating on all these windows. I'm going, I'm going to get to you motherfuckers. I'm beating on the door, and then they come with the big ass camcorder on me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They got the big German Shepherd dog or whatever. They got the door open, and I'm beating. So they got the camera, so I'm just like, what? You know what I'm saying? Because you don't let dogs go on my kids.
Right.
You got a problem with any of these kids around here. I live right there. All these kids. So that's the way I've always been. Like, it don't matter. And we be so busy not wanting to get in somebody's business.
Right.
Let something happen to mine and you right there and you got to look me in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? I can never look nobody in the eyes being around their child. And I know their child is in danger. That's why, like I said, even if I don't like you, I still don't be wishing bad on nobody, because what we don't understand, a lot of us don't understand, but I understand this thing's so much bigger than this little.
Right. So basically, like, your marriage was out of him. Yeah, I got you. So, like, that was just based out of you being basically in a home where, like, you didn't really need for anybody than a third, and then you was easy prey for him, and then you finally go through, you know, realizing that, and then you end your marriage and you get a new lease on life to start doing music again.
Yeah.
So, is this where the Jack the Rapper story?
Ah, yeah. So from there, like, I had quit doing music, like, when I was married, because, you know, life was real, and I just quit. And I would do, like, I was in a FHG mob with Keith Harrison and Sandman, and, you know, they legends, you know, just in R&B and everything, and but our stuff was so dope, but we never released it. But I was still recording with different people, and then from there, I started doing shows, and I was tired of using other people's beats. I was always using like Too Shorts or somebody's, so I wanted my own. So I got with Daryl Thomas. He was a producer and everything, hot, and he used to be my neighbor. So I went to him and I'm like, hey Daryl, I'm like, you know, I need to get some beats. And so he was like, okay. He's like, the only way I could work with you now is if you get with these girls. So so I'm like, I said, okay. So I was like, so he introduced us and everything, and they were dope. So I told you about the that was 4 Deep and everything, and then from there we ended up, like, I had just got a divorce, ended up down in Atlanta at Jack the Rapper. Yeah. And back then, that's a crazy story on how you got down there, right?
Yeah. So like, you went out there with no money at all.
No, I ain't had no money. You know what I'm saying? And didn't have no desire to be out in front of nobody rapping. I mean, rap is just what I did. You know, I never was like trying to be. I just was going with my friends. And, you know, I needed beats. And like, it led me down there.
Right. So who you down there with?
Oh man, I went down there with Pam Floyd, rest in peace, Evael, and but it was me, her, Trina Mitchell, and then Felicia Morley. They were so fucking dope. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was 3 females, and they could sing, they could rap. You know what I'm saying? They had their different styles, and I was just always just this. You know what I'm saying? And so yes, I got down there with them, and we ended up. Okay, so one was registered. Okay. Only one of us out of 4 was registered, so she had already gone in. So, you know, in Atlanta with Jack the Rapper, it was just like being out in front of the hotel, it was live. Right. So I was down there, and me and the other 2 girls, and so Brian Timms, you know what I'm saying, legend. Yeah. So he came through. He was like, "What you doing out here?" I'm like, "I ain't registered." So he took my hand. He was like, "Don't let go." So I grabbed my homegirl's hand. I said, "Don't let go." She grabbed the other one here and said, "Don't let go." And we went on through security, didn't mess with us. So now we done snuck up in there just because of Boy from the Hood here. It was like, you supposed to be here, you know. Right. So now we up in there, and then so now Atlanta was packed. I ain't had no money, so wherever they was gonna stay is where I was staying. Right. So we found the hotel. Everything was booked. Everything.
Yeah, of course. It's like a big convention. Everybody's there.
Yeah. So we was way out. Yeah. So now we done got snuck up in the hotel that the event is in. So it's like, dang, now what we gonna do? So then Pam,
everybody got wristbands on.
Yeah. No, but only one. Yeah. Everybody at the place, you got a wristband when to show you register. You had to show it to get in the different rooms. Yeah. So we like say we have them, so we had to keep our sleeves down. and then so then Pam called Torrance back here, Torrance from Classic Records and everything.
Torrance, legend.
And so she called Torrance and said, if you ever in a jam out of town, Torrance is the man, like for real. So we're all the way down there in Atlanta. She called Torrance. Torrance said, where y'all at? He's like, all right. He called down there. He knew the dude at the front desk, so he got us a room.
Wow.
Right. So now the only dilemma is we snuck in there. And we had already dropped our stuff off at the hotel, so we had to get out and then sneak back in.
How in the hell?
I don't even remember how it happened, but it did happen. I vaguely can remember grabbing the stuff out that room.
I'm going to stop you for like 1 second in the story, right? This is such a legendary story to even begin with, saying you literally had this thought of, hey, I want to go to Atlanta to go to Jack the Rapper. Boom, you end up there. Boom, you just said, all right, we're going to wing it. You get a chance to get in there. Now your biggest problem is, you got 2 hotel rooms.
Right. Right.
And so, you got to sneak back in. So go ahead. Sorry.
So like I said, I vaguely remember grabbing the stuff out the other hotel room. And my homegirl had a little Sabre, right? Yeah. So I remember us throwing the stuff in there, and then I don't even remember how we got back in the hotel, but somehow we got back in. So now the task was to go the whole weekend without bands on. So like I
Right.
said, we just had but we had pictures with Jack himself, Jack the rapper, the one whose convention it was. We taking these pictures like this, and look, we snuck up in here. Look, you used to have to like pay to showcase, but like managers.
Yeah.
Like I said, we ain't had no money. They probably had a little bit of money. I ain't had no money, right? So I'm like, okay, but we was hot. So if you wanted to talk to us, we got to talk over either breakfast, lunch,
Sure did.
or dinner. And our brothers here too. So it was 4 of us females, and I think it was like 5 of them. Yeah, I mean, you want to talk? Okay, so then
So
whoever.
y'all out there surviving.
Yeah, so then, and
Wow.
meanwhile, we like just mingling in the hall. Like I said, you ain't have to go in the rooms for the lectures or nothing, because everybody was gonna be in the lobby.
Right.
So,
yeah.
like,
Everybody's just kicking
Bushwick-
it. Like.
Yeah, so like Bushwick Bill, I mean, he fell in love with us. I mean, you know, he said, 4D, what's up? So then once we did our song was called Oh So Funky. This song was so hot. This was their song. You know, and then of course I wrote me a verse to it, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? But this song was already hit way before I even heard it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was so hot to where Bushwick Bill kept leaving, going to get people. If he was with people, like, yo, do that song. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody loved it. It was so hot. And then like to showcase, you used to have to pay. I mean, I don't know if you still got to now, but like
You still gotta pay.
yeah, so it was like back then. It was like either probably about like 1,500, 2,500 or something. I don't know. Like I said, it was like you had to pay 400 to get in. We snuck. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So now we like, okay. So these managers, we like, well, show us what you can do. So the next thing you know, we showcase it for free.
Wow.
Yeah. So then we in there and we are like straight clowning. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it was just so live, and we had different labels wanting us to do deals like right there on the spot. I'm like, we ain't got no managers here.
Oh,
you know what
my
I'm saying?
God.
And I did that to even our group First Family. People wanted to sign us. You know what I'm saying? I was like, bro, we ain't got no lawyers. You know what I'm saying? But kind of like, you know, sometimes I'd be like, man, you know, even Roger wanted to mess with us. You know what I'm saying? And we had no lawyers. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Sound like I thought I was a lawyer. You know, maybe I should have just trusted something.
Do you regret that in a certain retrospect now?
I do for other people, because out of all of us who really, I know me personally, I know I like left, you know what I'm saying? I, you know, even through everything, you know what I'm saying? I still left after the Jack the Rapper. We hooked up with the lawyers. The DMX had just fired him. We hired him. You know, they was one that had to feed the family. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But they, you know how we say, put up or shut up. You know what I'm saying? They put up. You know what I'm saying? They got us to showcase. They had people. So look.
What was the guy's name, if you don't mind?
The managers.
Yeah.
Jack. Jack. His name was Terrence Gabell, and then his brother Bruce.
Okay.
Yeah. So the
Okay.
Nasty Brothers.
The Nasty Brothers.
Big Nasty. Yeah. Big Nasty Brothers. Nasty for something. But yeah, DMX had just fired him and everything, and we hired him. And the thing was that Jack, Tony Dofat, who did a lot of music for Mary J. Blige, the 411 and all that, he fuck with Puffy and everything. So Jack had given him, Tony, a couple of crates of records back in the day. And Tony's a producer, so he owed Jack. So all these years, he waits till they come to Atlanta from New York and they meet 4D.
Right.
Now, mind you, one of us was pregnant. It wasn't me. And then the only one who was registered, she ended up going a different path. So by the time we left from Jack the Rapper, it was only 3 of us. And then the managers had us set up to be in New York in 2 weeks. Then the night before we leave, one of us is pregnant. She decides that she doesn't go.
So 4 deep is now 2 deep.
2 deep. yeah.
Right.
Like 2 deep, but we went and everything. And so when we got to New York, as soon as we got there, we were like at the Hit Factory. You know what I'm saying? We was at all
The
the
Hit
studios.
Factory.
We was at all those studios. That's where we hung out all the time. To where.
What was it like that scene? Because like in our head, like, you know what I'm saying, we watched like the rap videos, stuff like that back then. And is that kind of what the feel was, or like what was that secret underworld like?
It's like New York was like magical. It was like when I look back at everything that we went through, I felt like really I went to watch out with my homegirl, because it got deep. You know, we went through a lot of stuff, and I get emotional because I know if I wouldn't have been there, it could have been bad on so many levels. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm thankful for how I did grow up, because me being in so many neighborhoods, I always, thank you.
No problem. Gotcha.
I always, because I rapped and everything, I always was around a bunch of guys. You know what I'm saying? And so I was always in spots where I shouldn't have been to some people, but nobody never fucked with me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, and then if anything, I learned so much. So when I went to New York, even while we were out there, the hood took care of us. You know what I'm saying? Like anything while we was out, I know I'm kind of jumping ahead, but anything, it was like, if they weren't coming through, like I said, we would be in the studio so much. It was like, we go in at 8 at night, get out 8 in the morning, you know, go sleep for a couple hours or whatever, and next thing you know, you headed back to the studio. But meanwhile, I done told my mom I was sending her this money. You know what I'm saying? When we going to hit this Western Yard, oh, yo, we do it tomorrow. And because we, you know, playing tag with Puffy and Traffic and all that. I'm up here with these dudes, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, but that, I was never impressed by none of that.
Right.
But it was magical because, like, one of our managers, he lived in Manhattan. And so his girl lived in Jersey. So really me and my homegirl, that was our apartment, right?
Right.
And it was like way up high. And we would be like over on the balcony singing SWV song, Weak in the Knees. And my homegirl could sing. And I love to sing, but I don't call myself no singer. You know, my voice is really soft. But when we used to be out there on that balcony and just singing and everything. And then like the different videos that we've been in, she'd be like, yo, remember when we were such? I don't remember none of that. Because mind you, I just came through a marriage. I had little ones, you know what I'm saying? So now my focus is, this nigga keep playing about this money, I'm about to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll just, you know, and then she be like we see videos, and I just wouldn't remember the stuff or whatever, but it was so magical to where, like, when I first went to New York, I was just tripping. When I first went to New York, I had hair down my back. And I got up there and I let them, you know, talk me into cut my hair off like Halle Berry, to where I came back home and my brother yelled out the window. He was like, you better take your ass back to New York and get my sister. Yeah. But it was like the day after I cut it, that's when I was in the studio with Heavy. And Heavy told me, he was like, I was just down that second day. It was like my birthday and stuff. But I was like, just cut your hair off. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
But I wasn't caring about nothing. I couldn't see tomorrow, let alone next week. That's why I wasn't like out there chasing nothing. I just was like, fuck it, that's what we doing, okay.
Right.
And like I said, a lot of stuff went down out there that I'm thankful that I was there and stuff. But yeah, we did. We was in the studio with everybody. Like one of my favorite times. Now, mind you, this is back when people were still artists from each other.
Yes.
So our producer didn't want nobody to know that we rap. And then we sung and everything. So we would be in the studio.
Trying to sneak y'all around a little bit.
Well, it was like, he was producing like Biggie. And so we're going to be in the studio with him because we was always in the studio with him. And then Biggie in there with his people and women and everything, to where it was getting so deep in there. I said, hey, I remember going up to him. I'm like, this is Tony Delfab, because we were signed to his production company, you know. And that's where our stuff in New York kind of fell off, because I didn't realize he was being shot to these labels that was loving us. Because I could tell you about a story that's like, you know, some stuff, but they wasn't wanting to sign. They wanted us as a group. They just didn't want this deal. I didn't understand that back then, because I just wasn't caring about nothing. You know.
Right.
And so
being a free spirit, like just enjoying them.
Yeah. So I remember going to Tony. I'm like, hey, I said, I ain't down with all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it was getting deep in there. You know what I'm saying? A couple of things. So he's like, oh no, they know y'all with me. I'm like, all right. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like watching things, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, you know, and
like
then
some activities is happening.
So now, so then when Big come in there and sit, so then when he go in that booth, oh my God, Big go in there, and like Pac is my brother, you know what I'm saying? Pac forever my brother in my heart, but I got to really kick it with Biggie, you know what I'm saying? And he was in there, and like, as I remember we was drinking, and like when I drink, like if I'm gonna drink some Tang, I was that badass little kid, like I was sneaking in my mother's gym when she was out, because she used to work at the different, you know, like the Blue Note and the K9, you know, back in the day. And so when she was out, you know what I'm saying, and I was drinking her gin. I didn't know you were supposed to mix it with nothing. So years forward, we in New York. And so
time machine forward.
Yeah, right. So Biggie go to give me some orange juice. You know, we in there, we blazing stuff and everything. So he go to give me some orange juice. I was like, no, I'm good. So then he's like, yo, Ma drinking this shit straight. And everybody was laughing and shit. But I'm just like, that's just the way I drunk it, you know. So
it made it stand out to him for sure.
Yeah. I remember that shit. I'll never forget that. He's like, yo, Ma drinking this shit straight. So then he go in the booth. He go in this booth and he killed it. He killed it with the song. I still never heard this song to this day. This song was so hot. Oh my God. And you know, like me, I'm very respectful. You feel me? So if I'm in your session and I'm getting moved, I'm leaving. You know what I'm saying? Wow. So I get up out of there and I go out in the lobby because now I want to write. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I go to the club and write. Like
inspired,
I mean, there's like lots of pictures of me like online where people take pictures where I'm just in the club. I be writing on books. I be writing rhymes. You know, when the beat change, it move me something different or whatever. So now I got to where I want to get on this mic. So I go out in the lobby and I'm writing this up till people start migrating. So I'm like, then once Biggie make it out there, so I put it up. You know what I'm saying? Once too many people come, so I put it up or whatever. So we all out there, and then Puff walk out. You know, he come in, he had just got there. And I remember Biggie was so excited about this song. And he was like, yo, Puff, go in and check it out. And then this song was really all that, you know. So then he told me to go check it out, and then Puff came back out there. And he was just, he didn't think it was as great as we did. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Because he was seeing it on a different level or whatever. But I watched Biggie I just watched that happiness, that proudness of the song. I just watched things change in that room. And I just was like, you know, like
his pride got shook a little bit, or
yeah, it's like it just made me like what I do. Like I don't believe in comparing myself to nobody. I just believe in always bettering my best. So I know it just made me look at things like the people who be wanting to be on my label. You know what I'm saying? Like I told them, listen, let me be the guinea pig on mine. You know, let me do something with my music before I just, you know, tamper with yours or whatever. So it's like, you know, I just told myself then that way when I do start, you know, having artists or whatever, let them do them. You know what I'm saying? Because like even once I was there and like the stuff that they liked about me, I was like straight, I could switch up quick, grab the thing, get some clips, throw one of the black blunts lit, did, swoop another car, turn the hit, creep, puck around the corner from the lick, moving swift like lightning, running on my tips, eyeing the time in, 2 out, 1 in, scope on the lens, grabbing stacks to the diamonds, and wrist spare lines, keys to the pins, D's to the crib, rap stacks of Vans, a couple of floppy discs, time to get back in the wind, back in the crib, it's an even split, wait a couple of weeks, then do it again, when I'm saying is if you're dead. So I went out there like on that, and they got me on this love stuff.
Wow.
So I was just
I'm blown away, but like
yo. Them was that. In between thoughts, can't think straight. Still a minute to go until I get paid. Credit company calling. I need a D, what you call it? In MHD, a mental health day. What? Hey. And in a motherfucking worse way. When the meninges twist, the nerves vibrate. Though I ain't a maintain, I'm still a part of a game that I didn't as a play in the first place. Before you take it on a survey and try to fuck with my mental about what I say. I'm thankful for life, thankful for mine. But I didn't ask for these migraines. Don't know if my daddy really loved me. Pistol to the head of my mama while holding me. Died when I was 5, must be fucked up inside, cause it never really bothered me. Till I was writing this in poetry. He never ever had a chance to hear me flow, see. Or maybe he has, if forgiven for the bad. And I pray that he got his wings. Laid back in the crib, blazing. Phones off, not returning no pages. Better leave it on the voicemail. I'm with the clientele. Got a migraine and I'm trying to tame it. We got them Phillies rotating. Red eyes just about faded. Not, maybe at 3 so we can hit the streets. Supposed to meet my peeps on the BURG. Half past, jumped up real fast. Hit a hill taxi, I'm on, saying I'm mad. Better slow my road. This po, lungs full of slow. Smoke releases slow. 1 more block to go. Find a parking space. I'm looking for my dogs now in the place. It's a little dog now, but I still feel the pain. from this motherfucking migraine.
Hey.
But that's back when I had migraines all the time.
Wow.
That was in the 90s.
That is a you gotta stop for a minute.
That was 90s.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow.
And
that's some
we're
real
gonna
good.
real quick. We're gonna go to commercial break. We're gonna come
yeah.
back to your story, Miss Gwenny.
Okay.
And everybody put up a T for Todd.
Yeah.
He under the weather.
Yeah.
We said we're gonna come handle it for him
For
today.
sure, man. Shout out to
Everybody
Todd,
put a T up for the HNIC, y'all.
Snackish man,
We'll be back
man.
after this legendary commercial break.
Here we go. Oh my God, yo. Yeah, like the flow is nice. I'm like, okay. Yeah.
But that's some 90s stuff. But yeah.
But like the way you put the bars together with the the feminine.
Every time I come in the press room, you in the press room. Working on our Stars Hot Tronic Heat Press. Using all the vinyl. Making all the picture tees. I like vinyl.
I'm about to just load these boxes up. I'm out your way.
Man, you gotta be a crazy little brother to get fired on your day off. What you get caught stealing boxes for?
Man, I didn't get caught stealing no boxes. He said he caught me though.
You get our rent paid.
Why don't you go in there and ask the girls real fast to see if they help us pay our rent?
That don't sound like a bad plan at all.
What's up, Pops? What's up, Smokey? I'm trying to set up a meeting with the girls, man.
Okay.
Y'all wanna help me and Craig pay our rent?
Craig still owe me money from the last time he got me. He gotta learn a lesson. He shouldn't be stealing. Go ask him to tell that girl from last night to give him some money.
What they say? They said it's slow for real.
I'm about to just ask boss when we get our job that night.
Of course you can. Yeah! What's up? I wanted to announce today that we do have a brand new film studio and video studio inside T-Shirt Kings. Photography. So if you want to have a photo shoot or anything like that, we're having a special 30-minute shoot. As many pictures as you take, we just email them all to you. You don't have to worry about prints. You get your pictures back before you leave. And so everything that you've always imagined that a photo shoot or that video production should be, we're bringing it to you.
Yeah, hey, how y'all doing, y'all? Yes, you guys seen the very dope commercial with my man Shiekhs, man. I like vinyl, right? With the play off of, you know what I'm saying?
Friday.
Friday, man. I'm tripping, man. But yeah, so we here in the middle of a legendary story while she's in New York. She literally is in the studio with Big. Big just went inside there, dropped some of those, you know, like top bars for him, top bars for her. The song is great. Puffy was like, go back to the drawing board, and you got to see Biggie's probably a little bit hurt, but you know what I mean, he still, of course, became the legend he is.
Yeah.
So like, what was it like being in them sections? Like, because like a lot of people always say like the Illuminati and stuff like that. Like, do you believe of any of the type, like things like that, or do you see anything that would have been that look a little shaky in hindsight?
Okay, so I'm from right here, so I pay attention to everything. Right. So it's like I don't trust shit. You know what I'm saying? So out there, I'm really not. And like I said, even in like going to Atlanta just to a convention, the rules are the rules. So now we're living there. And when I look back at things, like what I respect so much about my homegirl, man, she passed away in 2011. And
what was her name?
Her name is Pam Floyd, Pamela Renee. And man, yeah, it's like we was away from our families, you know what I'm saying? And we were out there and things, like I said, things were really real out there. But what I respect so much, like I said, when we were down to Jack the Rapper, Eazy-E was at her, gave her the phone number and everything. And like I told her, we ain't here for that. And then later on, you know, rest in peace, Eazy. You know what I'm saying? But I could say she never left that room.
Wow.
She never left that room. But that was the rules when you with me. So even when we were in New York, them dudes, oh my God. I mean, like, we would kick it and have fun. You know what I'm saying? I was running for mayor.
Yeah.
He lived in that same building. I remember him campaigning to us.
Man, Giuliani was campaigning y'all saying, hey, man, you got
we was
Richard
living
for me.
Yeah, and at the same time, I'm thinking, dang, 'cause, I don't know if we really supposed to be here, even though we know this is his apartment. But I'm still on top, and I met him going
He
down
walked
to
up there to shake your hand. You like, man.
Look, I'm trying to go to the washroom, put my quarters in the slide, and he's talking about, hey, you know what I'm saying, all this stuff, whatever. I'm like, out of here. This is about as bad as sneaking on some stuff in New York. I mean, down in Atlanta, you know.
Right.
So
that is hilarious.
yeah, but like I said,
he's a sleazeball in, sleazeball now. Huh?
Listen,
he probably was sneaking in there himself.
No,
yeah,
you know what? No, now it's like I had to stop. Like, okay, but we were in Yonkers now, and Yonkers never sleeps, sleeps. I'm talking about 2 a.m. You walk to the store, it's like 2 p.m.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, this.
I've been to New York 9 times. One of my favorite places to go.
Yeah, I love New York. I mean, you know, we had some times. I can remember the food there, and I don't even need meat no more. But I can remember the certain chicken around the corner from there. Oh my God, and this cornbread. Oh my God, I can remember the food and everything, but I can also remember being so broke. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, the hood looked out. She would call home. I wasn't gonna call nobody. She would call home. And she would.
But there had to be some run-ins that where the hood couldn't look out. So like, what's some of the?
It never was. I mean, it really.
There was never a bump your head moment there.
No, it was a bump your head moment. Was me letting this man tell me for the last time, yo, we're gonna send it tomorrow. I'm like, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got kids back home.
Who's the person that said that?
I did.
No. Who's the person saying?
There was always Tony, our producer. You know, and out of respect, he was crazy busy. You know what I'm saying? He was crazy busy. Always, like I said, that's why we were always in these sessions. And then, but even when we were in our recording sessions, he would have it to where they wanted us so bad. Like, we would be recording. I remember times I'd be in the booth, and then I look out the booth or whatever, because when I flow, I close my eyes. I just go like somewhere, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So I'm closing my eyes and I'm flowing, whatever. And then by the time I come out, it's publicists out there. It's all type of people wanting us to, you know,
inquiring.
Yeah, and it was just like I can remember New York was loving us. They were loving us. But but as far as it was times where things happened. Times where I ended up with things in my hands. You know what I'm saying? But I made sure when it wasn't in my hands wasn't no evidence that was on there. Because I'm like, I don't know if situations was really going down or they was just trying to see how I was going to act in that situation or whatever. But it was just like, it was a lot of suspect things. Like one night, it was a situation where it was a birthday. So there were no other females with us in New York. So we were always with a bunch of guys, you know. So then it's a strip club event, okay? So they go to the strip club. Me and her, we stay in a limo. It's like one of them stretch Hummers or some shit. So we stay in a limo while they in the strip joint. They come back or whatever. So then we all end up going somewhere else. Next thing I know, we go back to the room, right? So now we in the room sleep. It's just me and her. Now granted, there were 2 guys that stayed there too in the loft upstairs, but they was real cool. They was like brothers to us, you know, and they was from, I want to say, North Carolina. Think that's what, Adrian and Terrell, something like that. They were dope. But anyway, they weren't there. I think they were gone home for the weekend. And so it was just she and I there. And so I remember her waking me up. And I sleep real light. But for some reason, I must have went to sleep heavily. Very abnormal for me. Like I'm like Wahoo, the Indian to sleep, like the one eye open, like live, like I said, and I said environmentally dreaming. I'm still paying attention to every fucking thing going on around me.
But this time you got your guard down.
My girl wake me up. She wake me up. She like, I'm like, what? She started pointing. I turn around. It's this nigga on the floor, laying behind me, because there wasn't no furniture in that room. Right, but mind you, when we went to sleep in there, it was a basketball goal. You know what I'm saying? And that was like where we was in there, but we chose to sleep down in there. So when she woke me up, and it was like this to me, and then pointed, I looked and I seen this nigga behind me, and then so I looked.
He was asleep.
Yeah, like but I sleep like this. I sleep in my clothes anywhere I go. You know what I'm saying? I mean, life has been real to where at one point I would sleep with my arm in the crease of the couch, with my hand on the thing.
Right.
With my Timberlands on. right here in the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just so I hear every fucking thing, and this is why I was really tripping, because I had there's no way they just came in there
and you ain't had no inkling of them
nothing.
being there, right?
So she do like this and point, and I look. So then I look, and then she point over there, and I look, and it's this other nigga. So then she was like, so then we left out the room, right? I said, get that nigga on the phone. I got a pot, put this pot of water on, had them motherfuckers on that pot, because I was going to fry their asses and beat the hell out of them. So he like, yo, don't do nothing. He said, yo, I'm on my way. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, so it was a lot of times, but every other time, but when I think about that, why was I asleep? Why was I asleep like that? And I didn't smoke weed then. You know what I'm saying? I didn't. I didn't start blazing until I was 23 for migraines. Like I said, I got a migraine, and finally my cousin when he takes away my pain. When my son found out I wasn't his mother, that's when I first smoked a blunt.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, different things. Like we would go to a studio. We went to a studio session in the Bronx once, right? Remember I told you the manager. Now let me. Okay, so the apartment we was in were the guys.
Right.
That was in Yonkers.
With Mary Giuliani and all that.
Yeah, that's Yonkers.
Yeah.
The apartment with the balcony that I'm singing, SWV, is Upper Manhattan.
Okay, Upper Manhattan, yeah.
We go to a studio session from here. Remember I said my manager, whose apartment it was, he was always leaving, going out of town to Jersey.
Yes.
So we go to a studio session in the Bronx.
Right.
Come back home, we're locked out. He's in Jersey.
Wow.
The Bronx, a borough over here somewhere. Now we at Upper Manhattan. So late that night while we out there on the steps sleep, she sleep. I told her go ahead, I'm gonna stay up. So she sleep. Car pull up. Why is it one of the niggas from the studio session? So I wake her up. So he's like, hey, I'll get y'all a room. He's like, I just so happen to be riding by.
Ain't no way you just came all the way from.
We don't have money to call nobody. We're really fucked up. We're out on the steps.
Right, literally.
Yeah, so she was like, here. So now I knew I had something on me, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I mean, at any moment, because like I said, it was stuff we was going through there. Like we was in shootouts. We went through so much in that time while we was there, and everybody thought we was just up there recording hot ass demos. Yeah, that shit was hot. You know what I'm saying? But there was a lot of hot shit going on, you know.
Yeah.
So we ended up going to let them get us a room. This dude get us a room at the type of hotel that just has a little slip knot. And so he gets 2 of those keys. He goes to give my homegirl one. He goes to tell, I said, let me get that. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so again, yeah, so I got the key. He thought he was about to keep it, and I told her I'm gonna go on back to sleep. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. But it was like different things. It was like too many coincidences, and I don't believe in coincidences. Period.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But different things happen, and I saw a lot of things to where now, knowing what I know now, I'm like, you know what? You know what I'm saying? It might be something to this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm so real and see life and like my mental, like just the way I flow. Everything that I was ever taught, I said I'm revisiting.
Right.
Anything anybody ever told me, this is that about. Let me look at this thing with fresh eyes. You know what I'm saying? It's like almost like when you're mastering a song, you know, you want fresh ears to do that. You know what I mean, or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I had to strip away all my and start revisiting things, and a lot of things that we were taught were wrong to me ain't wrong. You know what I'm saying? And just a lot of stuff. So things that I have seen now, I mean that I know now, when I look back, I'm like, this stuff kind of makes sense. You know, even, and it's crazy, like, I had an experience where, like I said, the labels loved us to where we would have these interviews.
Right.
And knowing what I know now, you know, they just like any other interview, really trying to see, could we fuck with it? You know what I'm saying? No, because everybody has their agendas. You know what I'm saying? So when I go to these interviews, I'm still me, whether I'm in New York, Atlanta, Dayton, wherever. You know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna always be me. I'm a walk in love. You know what I'm saying? So, but when you ask me something, I'm answering honestly. You know what I'm saying? So we would be at these interviews with like Benny Medina and different ones, and I would see them, everybody, you know, when my girl would answer and everything, she would get dressed. I mean, she would do the whole doll up thing. I was so mentally gone, like, you just cut your hair off. Like, literally, I just had a dope Hollywood haircut that the next day I had bought a toboggan.
Right.
And to go to Epic, you know what I'm saying, when we met Tommy Mottola. So at this time, I'm like, y'all not even gonna see this cute little haircut, you know. So when we went there to meet Tommy Mottola, it was crazy because he had 3 secretaries, and his office is so big, it's like both of these rooms twice.
Right.
He had the animals all over the place, and you know they real. You know, section was over here, and his chair way over in the corner. So when we went, we were deep. It was like, this time it's just me and my partner Pam. So we done changed.
What's y'all name. Yeah, about that.
We changed the name to She. Now look, the producer just came with the name She, just like, okay, so we went with it. So right in the middle of the interview with Benny Medina, he asked me, he asked everybody, he said, well, what does She stand for? Ain't nobody thought about it. So it's Tony the producer, it's our 2 managers, it's me and my homegirl, and it's always this one dude, Erskine, and I never knew what he did. You know what I'm saying? But Erskine was there.
Yeah, shout out to him, man.
So we in the middle of this interview, and Benny Medina like, well, what does She stand for? Everybody looked at each other. I was like, sisters hustling every day. Everybody's like, yeah, sisters hustling every day. Like that, you know, and then, so that, like, all the labels, they like this. And but Tommy Mottola, his was like, his story really sticks out. Like when we go there, like I said, he had 3 secretaries. So my friend, she's dolled up. I'm in like literally a toboggan, orange t-shirt. It was a Charlotte Hornets toboggan, so it had the turquoise, orange, and purple. And then I had on some turquoise jabots, some baggy jabots. Like, I had some Gore-Tex boots on. You know, I was like, really, like, I ain't trying to impress nobody, and I really don't care if you like my voice on. I just really didn't care, you know. And but of course I was manable and everything, but I wasn't like going there expecting anything. Yeah. But when
what the whole thing with the dude treating you, the stuff that's going on, it kind of was starting to get a little laboring. It's laboring on your mental than anything.
Yeah. So we go there, and we his secretary tell us that he doesn't show any emotion, so don't take it personal. And so I'm like, I'm thinking, I don't care, you know. Anyway, so we go inside. That's when we see this big office and everything. And he comes over there to me, and he says, anybody ever tell you you look like the light-skinned crisscross? And I was like, and I knew, because people did used to say that. And I look like a little boy for real. I got this hat on, you know.
I ain't think of that.
And I was like, yeah. So then that was it. So then the interview starts, and he starts playing our demo. So then every time I come in, like one of our songs was like, yeah, you know, so he turned his chair and he pointed at me. I was like, yeah. So then when I go off, he would turn. And then every time when it was me, he would point, make sure it was me. And so I was just like, yeah. So then after this song went off, and there's a sectional, and it's a bunch of us, like I said, that came here for the meeting with him. And he comes over there, and he stands over me. And I'm sitting on the sectional, and he says, you ready to do this?
Wow.
And I was like, yeah. So he held his hand out and shook his hand. So now we leaving up out of there. We in the elevator. Our manager's like, yo, go order some caviar and some champagne. I was like, bruh, we ain't got no money. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody broke no bread. And so, but everybody was just excited. And I understand now, but at the time,
it's like, man, wait a minute. Like, I still ain't got no check yet. I'm supposed to be sending that money back home to my mom.
Like, right. Yeah.
Like, I'm still waiting on that.
Yeah. And
so you
like,
ain't get no damn champagne and caviar. So
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. But later we found after now, when you get somebody like that,
oh yeah,
you know, this
Big
is Mariah Carey's husband. You know what I'm saying? This is somebody, you know, when he asks you if you ready to do it and shake your hand, and then all of a sudden he goes, well, they didn't want the production deal. Right. They wasn't shopping us. We just was the demo to that deal. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't want the deal.
But they wanted y'all, just not the...
Yeah. And see, and me being that loyal one, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't going behind somebody back doing this, making contacts, making moves. Now I feel it's only smart to network. So you're supposed to stay networking or whatever if you're in this as an industry. I wasn't in it I just wanted beats to do my own songs.
One thing I learned about this is that if you are handcuffed to your loyalty, then it's not a good thing to be, because a person that wants the best for you is going to say, take that opportunity. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like with Meek and Rick Ross, like when he got that deal on the table from Jay-Z, he didn't say, nah, like be handcuffed to this loyalty with me. Like, God go do that. I don't know if he got the best deal out of it, but to me, just me just being an observer, I feel like the person that you handcuffed to loyalty should have been like, you know what, that's probably a better, you know what I'm saying, like situation for you. And then you maybe benefit them later on off the affiliation of you blowing up.
Right. And that's the thing, like when I look at the bigger scope, really from when I step back and see from my childhood, just loving it, and from the Mr. Microphones to the parks and carnivals, and you know what I'm saying, and then shows, just growing with it and the love and everything, and just doing it, to going to being in a situation where, you know, now people are getting involved in it. You know, you gotta know your thing. You gotta know it, because if not, you're gonna get eaten alive.
Yes.
You will get eaten alive. And I'm gonna tell you, even down to where, like I said, I was so tired of not getting the money from my mom. When I left, I got home, I got some money, and I paid a lawyer there to just get me out the contract and tell me to keep what they owe me.
Wait a minute, you just said a whole lot there. So wait. Let's walk through the last day you said, you know what, F this, I'm leaving New York. What was the thimble that fell on your back and was like, that's too much? What was that last day there?
I don't really remember. I just know that building up, it was just too many times of, you know, us being on our way to do it, and then the too many things that wasn't nothing, you know what I mean, to where it was so important to you, but you knew this was everything to me. You know what I'm saying? It may not have been nothing. You just seeing somebody in traffic and yo, turn around, meet me over there, and y'all just want to holler. Y'all could have just, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. You know, I need to get this money to my mother. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, it's just disrespectful. But I don't really remember, because
But you spoke on like a shootout too. So I mean, was that? Yeah, let's go through that as well. I mean, I'm pretty sure this was one of the contributing factors on why you was leaving, because it's also hot there too.
Well, that really wasn't. That was us being in the club.
Okay.
This time was.
Walk us through that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, that was one of them nights where, even though I had my rules about when I'm in New York, I wasn't here for that. That don't mean fellas was like, they still gonna holler.
Cool. Yeah.
So one of the dudes, he played for the New Jersey Nets. Yeah, he played for them. I didn't know who any of them were. Mind you, I just came out of this marriage. I didn't, you know, I was just taking care of my babies. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know who was who or whatever. He just was trying to talk to me or whatever. Then next thing I know.
What year was this? We can find out who it was. Probably Kenyon Martin or one of them, but go ahead.
I don't know.
He from Cincinnati.
This was in.
Is that the big one?
This was in 90, in the early 90s.
Okay.
I could pinpoint it like maybe about a year after the Jack the Rapper, or a couple of months somewhere in there. Because now this, like, I would literally went from a divorce to going down here to now 2 weeks later I'm going to New York.
Right.
You know, and everybody just like, what? You know what I'm saying? Just like, what? You know, and but I like I said, I don't remember the day when I finally just was, because it wasn't just me.
No. We talk about the time like where it was a shooting.
Oh, yes. So that time, so the shooting, my fault.
Nah, you all good.
So the shooting, we was in a club, and I remember it jumping off, and I had to find her. Well, then she went to go out this door that she thought was gonna lead us like out back, and it led us to this fenced in area. So now we're caged in. So you got people that's shooting out here and everything. Now I wasn't shooting nothing like that, but I remember because this dude wanted to battle me. He wanted to battle me. He was up on stage, and that's what it was. The dude from the basketball dude, he was trying to get with me. Then it was like the dude kind of like called out Dayton on the mic or whatever. Wow. Yeah, I remember that, and so it went from that to it shooting. I mean, I remember trying to find her, and then I remember us being led to an area where we was trapped. So you got the ones shooting and more people coming this way. So imagine we getting trapped back here, but then the police outside the fence telling us to put our hands up and everything.
Wow, act like y'all part of it.
Right. So it was just like, I remember her saying, it's just two defensive girls. I was like, shut the fuck up with your hair, you know, and everything. I'm like, girl, if you don't do what they say. There's two defenseless girls, girl, you are in New York, you know. Girls look like SB killers, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so,
That's a wild story.
But there were times when, this is when niggas was robbing each other real bad up there.
Mm-hmm.
And there was times where I think maybe somebody was just paranoid, you know, and I would have to, like, get ready. You know what I'm saying, and everything.
And you put it in your purse sometimes, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, we would be literally at the spot, you know what I'm saying? And they would, like, tell my homegirl to, like, go in the room, lock the door or whatever, but I'm just too much a busybody. You ain't locking me in the room, you better give me one.
Right.
But, like I said, things wouldn't happen. So I don't know if it was a case of paranoia or what on that person's behalf or whatever, but like I said, I always made sure that I was good after the fact.
Man,
you know
I just
what
made
I'm
an
saying?
observation. I know where Biggie got that line from when he said, "We got what was in the place, please don't shoot at the place." I see some ladies at night should be having my baby. Man, he talking about y'all, huh? That's crazy.
Man, you know what?
That's crazy.
When I think about, and I didn't like going out in New York. Like when I see people and videos where they kicking it and everything like that, I just never was really a big going out and kicking it. But I mean, I love to dance now, so I love to go out and dance, even though I don't get to no more. I just ended therapy from being in a car accident.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I was like in therapy 3 times a week.
I'm sorry to hear that. Well, but I'm glad you're doing better.
Yeah. Thank you, but off the as far as like just kicking it there, but it was just so many different times.
In New York, it was just crazy.
It was like, I mean, like, let me tell you, it was this dude. I ain't even gonna say his name on here because real talk. Because me and this dude was like really. Look, I'm gonna tell you, when it come to life, it's so much deeper than what people think it is. You know what I'm saying? And like when we talk about the 6 degrees of separation.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
We're just talking about that off camera.
To me, it's like you just better stay paying attention. You just better stay paying attention because now, when I look at things differently, I see like you know this person's planet. You know what I'm saying? You know that one's whatever. But this person, I met them. Jack the Rapper. They was at me, Jack the Rapper. I wasn't knowing that Jack the Rapper. This is a big person, right? So I'm like, but he's, you know, cool with my homegirls and then whatever. But it was kind of like that thing. But he was kind of like an aggressive type dude. And I don't fool with no aggressive dudes because just me being who I am, I'm aggressive as far as if you think you're going to just, you know what I'm saying? I know how I can get, so I can't deal with somebody who wakes up mad all the time, you know? He was this type of dude. So now I'm down there and I'm like making it clear I don't want no hollers with him, but then I run into him in New York. This dude about breaks my wrist on the sidewalk.
Jesus Christ.
Now, this is the crazy thing. He like, what are you doing here? And it messed me up. And I'm like, all this stuff is happening like, fast.
Back to back.
Yeah, so I'll never forget that. And so me and him, we got into it, but I can remember my eyes watering because he's like a really aggressive. Yeah, you know, and this ain't nobody I ever dealt with. This is just one that got rejected. I don't speak on them, you know what I'm saying, and everything, but it's just like, it was so many different things with New York, but maybe that was one of the things I never thought, let me get out of here, because this dude, never that. It just messed me up that he came at me like that, you know, because I wasn't used to that. I'm used to
people being nice or trying to woo you in a certain respect, I mean, not just like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, even like here, if a person doesn't like you, they just don't like you. You know what I'm saying? And unless you done did something to this person, it don't even matter that they don't. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just out here just stay in your lane. You know what I'm saying? Walk in love, stay in your lane. If somebody in yours, you know, that's your lane. You know what I'm saying? So man your lane. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so, you know, just when I think about things like that, like with that guy, you know, whatever, that a person could just do that, you know. And so when you talk to me about, when you ask me about
that
different,
was the breadcrumb that led to you leaving.
Well, not that. That just made me look like some of the things that we be hearing about. I be believing this stuff so wholeheartedly because when I think back to different little situations like that, but this person is somebody who I admire their work. You know what I'm saying? That's why it messed me up so bad. And the only thing I ever did was tell him I wasn't there for that when he tried to talk to me. You know what I'm saying? But for whatever reason, you know, and it was like, and then you just run into me on the street in New York.
Wow.
But it was just too many coincidences. Then, like I said, I don't believe in them. You know, so then when I look back, I often say that I feel like God just had me there watching over her, because I was something different. Like I said, they always held their breath when I was going to speak or whatever, because I was just going to always tell the truth, say how I felt, whatever. But I was just watching shit and stuff I wasn't feeling. I just was like, you know, and so like when people be chasing that, and when I think about all these young kids that go out here and then they end up homeless on the streets in like New York and in California or even in Atlanta, just going trying to get on, you know, when I'm like, real, I'm just so real about the way I see life. If I didn't have kids, I would never have kids. You know what I'm saying? Just for real, because it's ugly out here and it's not getting any better. And not to be no Debbie Downer, but I see this shit for what it is. Just like y'all better start stocking up on y'all food and water and stuff too, because it's about to be so ugly. But it's like, just like I wouldn't have no kids or whatever. Like, to me, it's like, yeah, I'm single now, but I look at it like this. I came in this world single. I'm leaving out this world by myself. You know what I'm saying? And in between, I don't need nothing that's going to be no static while I'm in between that. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's why when they, just a sidebar, people get off to the side. Like, they meet somebody and then they think, okay, well, I'm going to do this. But if that person's not on your path while you was doing it and they doing that same, you're going to have to keep getting off your path to go see about that. And that's when it's going to be a problem or whatever. But, yeah, I mean, just...
Wow. Wait. That kind of hit a little different.
Yeah.
That's true. You got to keep getting off your path to
go tend to something
somebody else. It's going to knock you off yours.
Yeah. And I mean, that's as foolish as somebody saying they're going to be on the path with you, like marriage or something like that, and then they think that they can get off the path and go over there, and you supposed to be still just trying, oh, hey, good to see you. Oh, yeah, well, we're almost there. Nah, it's the one you had and the one you chose. When you left, you come back. Yeah, but the one, that sweet one, you left that one. Now the bitch is here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Welcome. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I mean, that's what you said you wanted. You know, whatever. But
so to put New York in a bow tie, right? Okay. So who are some of the like female contemporary artists during that time, like when you were rapping? So we talk about Charlie Baltimore was around.
I never saw Charlie in New York. I actually met Charlie here in Dayton.
Oh, wow.
I never met her in New York. You know what I'm saying? But I did, like, as soon as we got to New York, Latifah was leaving out while we were coming in. You know, we got right into that clique. Like, they used to tease me because I used to love Tretch. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay.
You know, but I never would let them. I used to tell them don't be doing that. They would tease me like, yo, we about to. I'm like, man, you better not. Don't be telling her to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't here for that. You know what I'm saying?
There we go.
You know, have me out here beefing with Pepper and them over trash. You know what I'm saying?
Because you in them circles where you like one whisper away, really.
Right. Real talk. Like, look, be on the phone. I be like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm playful. You know what I'm saying? If you with me, and you with me and I'm with you, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we clicked up or whatever, you are my brother, big brother, little brother, whatever, and I like to have fun and I clown and we just used to have a ball, but they would tease me about that all the time. Like, don't do it. But yeah, our producer, he used to be in love with my homegirl Pam. Okay. And I was like, look, you grown. And I know I have rules, but this is real life, though. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do. I'm just saying, you got to remember, we met them through this music, so it could have something to mess with, you know what I mean? I'm just letting you know. And she never did it, though. Right.
So, like, who were some of the other female rappers in New York during this time?
Well, everybody was out. This is when MC Light, Latifah, was it Moni Love? I think that was her name.
Moni Love.
Gosh, I can't think of. Gosh, her name was with KRS-One and now Miss Melody, Audio, yeah. And like I said, we unless we was like in sessions together or whatever, was at a couple of outdoor events. But I don't like being closed in. I definitely don't like being where I don't know my way out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, yeah, like. I just flashed back to them trying to take us through the tunnel, but back to the female rappers.
The tunnel was a legendary place. Yeah. But I ain't play that mess taking me through the tunnels, like going over to Jersey or something like that. I was always like before the World Trade Centers hit.
I remember my homegirl wanted to go in there. I'm like, man, nah. She was like, why not? I said, hey, look, we don't mess with buildings like that. Everybody thought I was crazy.
Wow. No, you weren't.
They ain't standing no more, are they?
Right. That's a legendary bar.
So then...
they ain't still standing already. No, they not. You was right.
Man, look, then they got me in one of them Lincoln tunnels. I was like, man, look, I said, don't listen. Anything that's like y'all landmarks or y'all treasures, I don't have nothing to do with those.
Right.
And then, like, it was like literally weeks after that when they tried to blow up the Lincoln Tunnel.
Oh my God.
See,
so like you.
Look, I just be paying attention.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
The,
like
the CIA should hire you ASAP, right?
Nah,
What's gonna get bombed next? Like,
Right.
just ask her if she wanna go in there. Nope, I would never go in there.
Right.
All right,
right, and it's
right.
like it's crazy how stuff like that be when you, like I was talking about the water and the food and everything. A couple of years ago, something happened, and I thought it was about to be a civil war because where I was at in Georgia, the racial tension was so thick.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, it was unreal. And then it was like, if we don't even give that much love to each other, let alone the others, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But I was just feeling it. So I said, something about to happen. I came back, and within 2 months, it was the pandemic hit. And they shut everything down. They shut it down on my birthday. I remember that. And yeah, but
we gotta protect you at all costs because you are happened on your birthday.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, something else just happened too, and that's why I'm like telling people like, boy, y'all better get y'all some storage units and get. So I ain't got no business saying this on the air, but it's time to put this. Sorry, really, you know, you got. I'm talking about rationing, teaching your kids like
how to plant.
Yeah, I mean it's like like you're gonna have to start teaching your family. Not to just eat junk all day.
Yes.
Start there. Okay, they'll still give them all their meals, but if you're a parent who lets your kid eat junk all day long, stop that immediately. You know what I'm saying? Because the time is gonna be to where look at the gas shooting up. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't too long ago. I paid $3.98, and I'm like, what the heck? You know what I'm saying? So look at this. I needed the product. And the lady told me, she said, well, good luck finding it somewhere else, honey. She said, because ours is out there on the ocean in the cargo ship. That's how I first learned about it. I forget what it was I wanted, but she was talking about it was out there on the ocean. Yep. So then I remember I had seen something else about that. And then Papa Duck, you know, he got this podcast. So he was talking about it when it came through again at the time it came through and something else was going on. And I said, man, let me watch this video. And then I said, yep, because it had the cargo ships. And I said, this makes sense. That's what that lady just told me. That what I want is out there on the ocean. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So
we go through that a lot here in the T-Shirt Kings slot studio when it comes to getting hoodies and stuff like that. So I definitely understand that.
Yeah. So it's like, but I'm like, this thing I'm seeing with food, man, I've been hearing some things. And I've been paying attention to some things. Like you said, you know, just that supply and demand. You know, watch how inflation is just about to shoot through the roof and everything. But it's going to be so ugly that if we don't teach our kids to like not even... I just feel like you ain't even got to eat every day. But I ain't saying if your kid's hungry, don't feed them.
I know what you
mean.
But
teach them that they're going to be all right. You can go a couple days without food, but you can only go so many days without water. You know what I'm saying? So we got to teach them to quit, you know, and even like we got to get our health in order because if we can't get the food, we can't get the medicine. So you got to learn how to eat off the land and survive off the land with these herbs and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like anything medicine you want, God and already put it here. You know what I'm saying? It was just, but you know, we wasn't taught. That's why, like I said, I went back and I revisit that. You know what I'm saying? Started studying that. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't feel good, man. I got a pot on the stove. You know what I'm saying? Cutting up ginger and all that stuff. And I'm going to work. You know,
yeah, that's definitely something that everybody should be hearing right now. So I'm glad we did that segment, but we'll get you back on subject. I got you. Yeah. So the transition back from New York.
Okay.
What was that like? Where did you come to when you came back to the Midwest?
So when I came home, I was already doing nursing. I went to nursing straight out of high school, right? So I told my little girl, I said, listen, I'm just going to stay home and, you know, get a job and just take care of y'all. She was 5. And the next day she came back. She was like, well, Mom, if you do that, what's that telling us to do? You know, what about our dreams? Right. At 5, she said that to me, right? But I was like, I'm going back to the hospital. So, like I said, started back doing nursing and everything. And it was, it was cool, you know what I'm saying? Because, and I mean, I'll have fun with it, though. You know what I'm saying? Because I take really good care of people, you know. And one of the saddest jobs I ever had was I used to have to, like, when a person died, I'd have to like tie their hands up like this, tie their jaws up before rigor mortis was set in. I'd have to bathe them and get them prepared, you know. And but the very first person I did, when the people came in, I knew him. And I felt so good knowing that I still kept this man covered. And when I was as if he was present and accounted for in spirit, you know what I'm saying? And but yeah, so I would
Ain't that your fear going into that type of job? You saying, man, I just hope it don't be nobody I know.
Well,
is that your fear? Like when you first start a job like that, like where like you know you're gonna be touching a dead body in a very. To me, that'd be the first thing I'd be scared of. Like, man, I hope ain't nobody I know. And then, boom, the very first one be your luck.
Right. And well, I didn't know that person, but I knew the family.
Right. Okay.
And but I just, like I said, I just always operate, like I said, walking in love and giving people their respect. So I was blessed in that instant because once I did find out, I already was at peace knowing I didn't just fleece them off to the side, you know.
Right.
You know, because it's sad in the nursing field, nurses get burnt out. You know what I'm saying? And everybody doesn't do it for passion. Some just do it for paycheck. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people do get neglected in the nursing, you know, industry and everything. But yeah, I came home and I got back to doing nursing. I was still recording stuff sometimes. But then after we came home, New York come calling again. About a year to so let me tell you how I got that contract first, because they owe me money. That's all I was telling you. So when I was tired of waiting to get money to send home and everything, and so once I did, I just paid a lawyer, and then I told them I just want to be free of the contract. I just want to be able to do whatever I want to do. And I remember that day too. A brother went with me, so when it was time to pay, I remember him getting up. He didn't say nothing the whole time I was dealing with the attorney, but when it was time to pay for the fees for the visit, you know, he got up with the pay. I was like, I got this, you know what I'm saying? Because even in that, dude, I'm not getting out of this contract and going under something with you can Shiekhs me. No. Right. No. When I love y'all show, when I see and I get to hear the different stories of the different people, you know, different artists. Some I didn't know, but I know they peoples, and I know they peoples know me, you know. And that's one of the things with being older, you know. But it's like hearing all the different things people in Dayton was doing, and I felt like I missed out. And I never have regrets other than not telling Pi. But just when I'm seeing all the stuff,
you gotta walk us through that story though. So like because I don't think we said it on the podcast. We talked about it off screen. So there's this picture of you and Tupac. Explain the picture to the viewer.
So
we'll post it.
Yeah. So the picture, I'm just looking straight, smiling at the camera.
And like Pac is looking at you.
Yeah, it looks like he's looking down. He is. His head is face down.
It looks from what I saw.
Yeah. So you just see it, and it looks like he's smiling.
He's looking at something in a nice frame below the camera.
Like he liked it, but
and he's smiling.
But
he's looking at the same time.
But I tell people, believe none of what you hear and half of what you see, because even though you might be seeing something, it might not be what you think.
Exactly.
Like you might see two people embracing, you might be thinking, they, or one of them may have just found out somebody died. They might have been, so you never know. So I say half of what you see. But in that situation, if you didn't have the story behind it, you would think like that. It does. No, the story is. It wasn't just he and I.
Story behind the picture. Let's
right. The camera was focused on he and I. But my homegirl Pam was to my right, and then my other homegirl Pam was to my left.
You had two Pams with you?
Yeah, so Pam, the one that went to New York and did all the music with me, she was to my right. But my high school homegirl, day one, when I said Pamela Rhonda, that Pam. So, so both Pams we went down to the Freaknik. Yeah, Freaknik.
The legendary Freaknik.
Freaknik, right? Yeah, so we see Pac, and I'm just like, he just looks so peaceful, you know, just kicking it. Had a bottle of orange juice with his little star.
Which Pac is this? Like, what Pac is this? What era? Yeah, like, what era of Pac is this?
This is early 90s Pac.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know, juice Pac. You know what I'm saying?
My favorite Pac.
But when I saw Pac that day, it was just like, peaceful, having a good day. Yeah, he just was like at peace. So they was like, look, I'm gonna tell. I said, nah. I said he get that every day. Let him chill, you know. And so I didn't let them, but they still was like, we're going to take a picture with him. So I'm like, okay, we can take some pictures or whatever. See, me thought I was running everything all the time. I should have let them just go on here or whatever. But anyway, so the pictures, the cameras aimed on he and I, but my homegirl Pam to my left had pinched his butt.
What?
So when she pinched Tupac booty, rest in peace, Pac.
R.I.P. Pac, man, for sure.
But yeah, so when she pinched his butt, and I'm the one he's taking the picture with. I don't know if he thought I pinched his butt, but I know she did.
But he looked down at you with a nice smile, like, I'm glad you pinched my butt.
Yeah, but see, and ain't no telling what she was saying, whatever. But yeah, that's just looked like that. But no, it wasn't. He wasn't like trying to holler or nothing like that.
Right.
Nothing like that.
So at this point in your life, you done met Pac and Biggie. Like, what were those brothers like, and what ways would you say that they're similar?
Both like really gentlemen, you know what I mean, mild manner, not the loud ones. I didn't see that them in those versions, you know what I'm saying, but they were both peaceful and everything. Like I said, Pac just looked like he was just having a really good day, just chilling, you know. I mean, just imagine him walking on the movie, you know what I'm saying? He's just having a good day. And, you know, so you know females are stopping. Everybody's stopping. Yeah.
Let me
so I'm like, man, I'm like, leave him alone. I'm like, don't do that. I'm like, he get that every day. So he's like, we taking pictures. so, you know, I mean, just go along, you know what I'm saying? I just was with him, you know what I'm saying? But, yes, that smile is straight up about my friend pinching his butt.
So we gotta ask you the age-old question: who's better, like Pac or Biggie?
Oh, so check this out.
Because your pen is crazy, so I'm gonna say you can put this on lyrical, or you can say, I mean, because to me, I don't think it's fair to judge catalog because Biggie's time got cut short before he got a chance to get into his. But you can judge pen wise.
But the thing is, like, who the fuck is this? Paging me at 5
in the morning, crack a dawn.
Yeah. So it's like,
yeah,
you know, Biggie had crazy bars.
Yes.
So did Pac. You know, Pac came having a different upbringing. So what you're taught, you know what I'm saying? You know, if you train him in that way, so that part of Pac stayed with him. You know what I'm saying? So, but as far as, you know, like I said, I don't see them the way other people see him. Like Pac, most women see Pac and think, oh, he's so fine. I had to stop one day, like, Pac is beautiful, but I never looked at him like that. I really looked at Pac like a brother. I really like Pac and Scarface. Those was like, I just looked at them like brothers. And when I met Biggie, he was just so cool, you know, respectful. You know, didn't, like I said, he, you know, offered me juice, you know what I'm saying? You know, he passed the Dutchie to the, you know what I'm saying? So he was mannerable, you know what I'm saying? But as far as who I think is better, like, man, Pac is like, hands down, Pac is my brother all the time. Like, he's always going to be the greatest to me, you know, but Biggie got crazy bars. For sure. And Pac do too, but Biggie got them bars. So you can't compare them, you know. I just, that goes back to me with that competition is none. You know what I'm saying?
One A and one B, no matter which one.
Right,
You're not going to get it wrong by putting either one.
Right. And the fact that they used to be in the same house, sleeping on each other's couches, you know, that these brothers was really close like that. Right. It really, looking at it now, it's really fucked up that they got done like that. You know what I'm saying? They didn't get to really have that full effect. You know what I'm saying? Where when I look at the different situations, because we had just watched a couple of documentaries on everything, and I just look at it, and it's just sad the way they both got cut short.
Absolutely.
And it just wasn't cool. So
exactly. So to me, I'll definitely accept it as an answer. She's saying 1A or 1B. So that's cool.
I mean, Pac is my favorite. Right. Forever. Yeah.
So back to your legendary life of when you ventured to Kentucky to do a show. We'll talk about that with Mystical.
Yeah. So check this out. So now I done stopped. I done came back home. I'm working at the hospitals and stuff, and you know, moving around like I do. I'm dipping all the time. So then we go, but Tommy, my little brother, you know what I'm saying? So he like, what's up, Shorty? We gonna go to this, you know, show in Kentucky. So I'm like, bet. So I go ahead and I rent a car to go. Because my whole thing is, if I'm going somewhere, I like to be behind the wheels. Where if I'm ready to go, I can go. Right. I get my own hotel room and everything. Yeah. So we get down there and everything. And That's when I met GH. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? I didn't know not near none of them. I had just came back home. But like I said, they was going to open up a Mystical. And I forget who else was there. But the show was hot. But I'm going to tell you, and I love Mystical's flow and everything, but being on that side of that stage while GH was up there performing, I promise you, like, if where you are is the stage and I'm on the side of it, I may have started off on the other side of this.
Right.
But the more they perform, I'm like,
closer,
into where,
closer,
yeah, I mean, I want to get up on that stage with them. And I never had that desire. I never wanted to get on the stage that bad in my life. But they was just so dope and everything, and I just wanted a piece of it, you know. So I had hooked up with them and got down with them. And it was like...
was that with Rick B, Bishop,
Biz
Chet?
Hop,
Yeah, Linda B, and Gangsta Pick.
Gangsta Pick, Shorty, Coach. It was so many of them. I never met them all.
Right.
Because everybody wasn't always out at the same time. So those certain ones I knew, you know. And but we just clicked so strong, you know what I'm saying? And they was just also dope and humble. But so we had, like I said, did a couple of recordings. But then we had a show set for the Nutter Center. And I was like so excited. You know, I mean, I make clothes and stuff. So I had already had this blue jean outfit. I didn't make it. But I'd be dazzled it, you know, just studying it out and everything. So then Linda had wanted one. So we went up to West Town. We got her some pink jeans, right? So I was like, get 2 pairs because we're going to make a vest out of the second pair, right? So we took them, and I made her this vest and put her this dope-ass Playboy bunny on it, put the red rhinestone for the eye and everything. It was just like, man, I was so excited to do this show. And then the show got canceled.
Wow.
I fell into a straight depression, like, for real. And like, and when I say that, because when you come from a place in life where don't shit really matter, you know, even though you really, no matter what we go through, yeah, we always got something to be grateful for. I get that. But when you're going through shit and you just can't see shit, you don't really care about nothing. You know what I'm saying? So then to have something that makes you look forward to tomorrow and then they get canceled, oh my God. I like literally was depressed. I mean, I went on with life, still had a fat job and all that, but that was something different. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, music is the only thing that can have that much control over me, that you can really like pull my strings like that. Like when the deal in New York, when that got canceled, and it was like, look, I done gave up my crib. I done took my kids to my mama. What you mean we gonna hold off? Because somebody didn't tell them they was pregnant. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I'm like in a teardrop, and I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? But I never let myself get emotionally attached to stuff like that. But when it came down to that music, but yeah, but they are so daggone dope. And that, it just bothered me. I never got to like rip with them like at a show or nothing. But we did. We had a couple of dope songs.
Well, a lot of people don't even think about, you know, because to me now, you know what I'm saying, like people don't popularize the bag. Like I was talking about the bag, all about the bag. But really, like when you really love something, it's different. You know what I mean? So like, like that type of depression, like is something like we shouldn't just like gloss over. Because I think we always just want to be the cool person sometimes. But like you really was in a dark place during this time. Yeah,
like for real, because I already was like. Remember I said straight out of high school I got married. You know what I'm saying? And that was just a cold war. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, when I see the pictures of everybody, like the back to the 80s, and I see that, I'm like, how in the hell? This is the 15th annual. How did you miss all those? Wow. Nigga, life. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, it was real. But don't get me wrong. Once I started back kicking it, I kicked it hard. Like, I'll be out in Spunkies, then we're going to go to the Ray Gate, and I'm going to go home, take a shower, and wait for my ride to go to work. You know what I'm saying? And sit in the chair, not even go to sleep. That's back when I did started kicking it hard. But yeah, going from let's say we had the GH,
and then you doing shows with Mystical to finally coming home to throwing your home show and then get canceled after you done put together the spicy outfit for you and your girl to go down there and rock it out, and then it's like you still doing music, so you start doing tracks with somebody, but you know something's kind of off with the tracks.
Was that the moment you was kind of recording with Ryman Man?
Now that was the hottest collab ever. Oh my God.
Shout out to Is. Keep your head up.
Yeah, man, that's my dog. But we did this song I forget what it was called, but we just threw bars back and forth at each other.
Okay.
And I remember I was like working so much and I was recording so much. I would be so tired. I can remember being in there in between us just throwing bars back and forth. They'd be like, all right, Shorty, your turn, you know what I'm saying? And he go in there, come back, whatever. I go out there, fall asleep. They wake me up, go back in there. But it was like the hottest stuff. But when I love performing with Ryman Man. Yeah, that was. And shout out to Ryman Man. The first time I went to jail, Ryman Man came and got me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for real. Like, for real, when nobody else could come and get me, the Ryman Man. He came and got me out. Man, look. Yeah, because I'd have been sitting there.
Man, ain't nothing worse than going to jail on like a Friday and Monday end up being like a holiday. Listen here, like you better come get me.
Yeah, I done been in that car when the police is talking shit to you, and he says to me, well, technically I could take you to jail. I'm thinking to myself, if you could, you would, and I'm thinking, shut up, girl, it's Friday.
Your big man.
They don't never give you no bond, so
right. Yeah. So at this point in time in your life, like you stacking tracks, you know what I'm saying, like you doing songs and stuff like that, like you stacking it up, and then you notice that someone's using the same beats twice. Are they selling you a beat?
Oh my God! You know what? That's one thing, and I found that like I don't know if it's because now when I buy tracks offline from people that be leasing beats,
leasing.
So I don't know if people was like
doing that back
thinking
then.
It was okay, but yeah, I would often have tracks that like I wasn't the only ones that would have them. So that's when I started back because I could already play the drums, I could already play the keys and stuff. I already played the violin, so that's when I decided to go ahead and get my own studio. And actually, my brother surprised me with one.
Wow,
he did. I'll never forget. He called me and told me to come to the house.
Who your brother? Give him a shout out.
James JB, Precise Systems. Yeah?
Okay, word.
And
shout out to bro.
Yeah, he told me he's like, come over. So I went over there. And he took me downstairs, and I looked, and then so it was just like it was a keyboard, it was my beat machine, the mixer. It was this is when you could do everything standalone before they started using the digital workstations, you know. But I had a BR1180, and I remember because they videoed it, and all I just kept saying was, "Oh shit," because I just wanted to make my own beats. Because like I said, that's how the whole thing started with me going to Atlanta, was just trying to get some beats. You know what I'm saying? Then I started buying beats, you know, because my thing was I never used to let nobody just give them to me because I felt like it's just like if I'm gonna pay you to do something or say you're an artist and I say, well, can you draw this for me? You're like, oh yeah, I got you, but if you got a way to make some money doing something else that day, you're going to go do that because you still got to eat. In the meanwhile, that's why I always tell people, no, I'll pay you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So you're not just doing this for no favor.
I'm going to reserve your time.
Right. Let me tip you in advance. Yeah. That's what we're going to call this. Sure. That's what it could be or whatever. But yeah, so went through that, and then I had so much music, but I've got a library that's out of this world.
Absolutely.
And then I even did gospel for a while.
Let's talk about that. So like, what's that transition like going from, you know, I mean, was it fairly easy because you're already musically gifted, or was it a little bit having to reserve yourself a little bit?
Nah, it's just like I said, regardless as to how the song comes out, I always go into it with whatever I'm going through right then. And so like I was in a place where I was catching so many cases. I would be out on bond and still be catching cases, and it wasn't looking good. And I remember being in the county. Yeah, I got tears in my eyes. I remember being in the county, sitting up on a bunk, thinking like, dang, I ain't gonna get to rap, and I ain't gonna get to be with my kids. And I remember just thinking that's all. I ain't care about nothing else. That's all I was thinking. Like, I just ain't gonna get to do my music, you know. And I remember being in there, making beats, you know what I'm saying, with my fingers and everything, and then getting home and adding to it or whatever. But that was something. But what happened? Because like I said, I was catching a lot of cases. I was just like, I learned to stay away from negative nouns, negative people, places, and things. And what may be negative to you may not be negative to me. What may be negative to me may not be negative to you. So, but I had to realize a lot of times it'd be like, man, I didn't even do nothing. You know what I'm saying? It just happened. So, well, what was your role? You were there. Okay, so then if you know that this is generally the way it goes when you go there, don't go there. You know what I mean? So that place that once was enjoyable could now be, you know, toxic and hostile, you know, and be a trigger, you know what I mean? So I had to learn to stay away from negative. I mean, I don't care if you came from me, if I came from you. I mean, like if my mom would say something to me about one of my siblings, that's not my business, Mom. just out of respect of, so you don't tell mine. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because I'm not. So if I could tell my mother, you know, my marriage is not for discussion, then I should be able to tell anybody that. You
Right.
know, and so when you are showing a person that you have that respect for yourself, you know what I'm saying, and for y'all's relationship, because unfortunately, a lot of times people might mean well. They may see your people's, and to where if you would have saw, they know you wouldn't have liked what you saw. You know what I'm saying? They may think that they're doing you a favor, but you may have they may have just put in your face something you been not want to see and accept that you may have known about it or whatever. It could be something to where now you're mad at this person. You know, this person that caused friction in your house or whatever, you know. So it's like one of them things where, you know, you just, you know, but like I said, as far as transitioning on in the gospel and everything, when I had, like, my mom didn't like take us to church all the time, but there was a family I grew up around. Shout out to the Morgans out in JT.
Shout out to
you know what I'm
them,
saying?
sure.
Because their parents were both preachers.
Okay.
You know, and they watched us all the time. And like I said, it was real with my parents to where when their mother passed, they found my mother's will. Because my dad was real. You know what I'm saying? So and it blows my mind when I think about it, like, dang, they mama had, because I knew that she would have wanted them to raise us. You know what I mean? So those are my brothers and sisters too. You know what I'm saying? So, but so they had prayer, 6 in the morning, 12 at the afternoon. You know what I'm saying? 6 in the evening. You know what I'm saying? We were singing, quoting Bible verses and all that and everything. And so, you know, that's what I was taught and everything. So I started going to church and everything, and music. You know what I'm saying? So
It's a part of you,
yeah,
no matter what.
Yeah, because I had this guy, I wanted him to manage me in the secular music, and he was like, well, you know, Shorty, he's like, I'm doing gospel now. So out of respect, because I was straight and that was that was like gutter, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, so out of respect, I didn't approach him, but then once I started going to church and everything, I got at him again. And then we started a place called The Spot.
Right.
It wasn't The Spot, it was The Spot. I said, that's because when you say it, you don't say, I'm going to the store. They say, I'm going to the store.
Spot, yeah.
So we named it The Spot, and it was like a gospel venue where people would come through on Friday nights. It would be packed in there, you know what I'm saying? And they come through from all over the Midwest and, you know, different rappers like NAP. Shouts out Kevin. Remember, we had a show we all did over in Richmond.
NAP.
Yeah. So,
I mean, is it the show where you carried her off stage?
No.
That wasn't
that show, but it was a show they were at, and I just happened to be.
Let's hear that story. Let me hear that story.
So, Kev, you want to tell it?
Yeah, Kev.
Go ahead and tell
Well, I just know, like, over there in Richmond, shouts out to Richmond. It's a cool little place to be, you know, when everybody's in a good mood. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's just like any other city. To me, it's a big city compressed, so it's a little bit more attention or whatever. But whenever it was concerts, they were always live. So I would always slip over there and everything. So I get over there, Kevin them all down there, and there was some NAP boys. There was some people there and stuff was going down or whatever. So I just kind of like was in the middle a little bit or whatever. But everything turned out cool and smooth and everything. But we had a great time. I can remember that night. I remember I had on a Naughty by Nature OPP hat. I remember that plain as day. I'm like, wow, that's way back. But yeah, just like the music is like.
I heard some Bloods was trying to gang up on my boy, man, and you stepped in and saved his life. Is the exact words out.
But this is.
Ain't no way, bud. You gonna tell the truth?
This is all I'm gonna say. It goes back to what I was saying earlier. I cannot like you. And then it may be that I only don't like you because I know you don't like me, and at this point when I know I ain't did nothing to you, so it's like I'm gonna have to take this attitude because if I be like, well, maybe she really do like me, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, or maybe he really does. I told you what the dude did when I turned him down Atlanta. He about broke my wrist. Hell, nigga hit me in this car at Dunbar because I turned him down. I'm like, bruh, like the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Hit you in this car.
And I had this nigga pull a gun on me one time, talking about it was mine. What the? Hey.
Pull a gun on you because like out of rejection.
When I used to come home, I expect don't tell mom I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Because I know. All I want to do is make music. You
Mothers, teach your kids rejection early, okay? Like I said before.
But you know why they don't get it? Because you got these parents that pacify or like
prince.
Well, my thing be they could be your prince, they could be all that. But the thing is this right here. If it's Susie's birthday, Jenny don't got to get new shoes too. You know what I'm saying? You teaching them that if one, so they don't understand that what's for you is for you and what's not for you ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? If you don't teach these kids, these kids.
Listen,
So as adults,
know.
I'm like, ooh, wait. Like
I
now,
got a senior in high school.
think about it. When kids up to the age of 7, they're in a theta state. You know, that's that state that you're in when you're first waking up and when you're falling asleep. You know what I'm saying? So your brain is a sponge. That's why if you want to learn something, best to put on headphones. You know how they say it's better with headphones because it's going deeper into your subconscious mind. Okay, so that state is a great time for you to learn like a new language or whatever. Just put on headphones when you go to sleep. Then once it plays for you that first time, when it cuts off your brain, now that you're fully asleep, your brain's going to play it over again. So now you got to double. But my point in bringing that up is
Write
that
that down, y'all.
well, see, up to the age of 7, that's the all day state for these kids. That's why they just running around just
do
trying to learn.
everything.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Then they start like that movie. Remember that movie about them kids where the babies get a certain age and then they forget who they are or whatever. I forget what
I
it
can't
is.
remember the name, but I
It
know.
was an old school movie, but yeah. So it's like when these kids are little, all this stuff they're picking up and cussing them out and all this type of stuff and shooting. I mean, one of my grandbabies up here when he see me, he pointing guns. I'm like, the fuck wrong with you? Then I'm looking at your mama and I'm like, girl, that's why these teachers ain't gonna be able to deal with your kid because you let
They're
them
being raised
answer
by
your door with
TikTok.
pistols. Yeah. So yeah, but anyway, yeah. So just like pay attention to these kids.
For
Pay
sure.
attention to these kids for real. Like
You also have somebody you used to record with. You lost her here recently. Cino passed, right?
Yeah. So
What was
Cino.
Cino's real name?
Cino's name was Charles West.
Charles,
and he
yeah.
wasn't from here. Cino was from I want to say
Was it Philly?
Virginia. From I think Virginia.
Oh,
I think he was
okay.
from Virginia. I think he moved around. No, he was East Coast all day long.
Yeah, East
but
Coast.
met No back in the 90s, right? And when he came through was where everybody was just rapping. That was the thing. Everybody who came to the crib, everybody that came around, everybody was doing something with music, whether they was trying to manage, whether they was just, trying to promote, whether they was trying to get on. Everybody was doing something. Even the kids, like my kids, when I would be in the hood doing shows, they was going with me because my mom used to sneak me into the clubs
Right.
and let me rap when I was like a minor. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sneak me in there, let me get some bars off, and I'm running out the door, whatever. But the same way with my kids, when I go on stage, I'm gonna take them. They can rap, they can dance. Even once I started doing gospel, I went on stage. If I was doing it then, they would. But they still had their earlier training in them, so I'm doing gospel. I turn around, they got each other in the headlock. I'm like, oh my gosh, man, these girls. These are my baby girls too, but
Yeah.
but
So
yeah.
like that's kind of how you got into gospel. But like during this time, I mean, like you also doing the Lord's work as well because you raised one of your he's your son, but you didn't physically have him.
Right.
How did you end up with like that situation?
Well, okay, so here it is. So I moved all the time, right? So like I said, as soon as I would finally meet somebody I thought was a real friend, it'd be time to go. So that was one of them situations. And then later on in life, but I knew this young man, you know what I'm saying? So I ended up knowing both parents, but I didn't know that they were together and everything. And then, so she ended up, she ain't here no more. And so this baby didn't have no mother. And so later on in life, me and his dad, we got together and I raised him.
Wow.
And then we ended up having kids together. But then when it gets to a point where you want to be there for somebody, but it's like really putting your life in jeopardy every day, at some point you got to put your mask on, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like I can't do nothing if I can't do nothing, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah. And even it's like, but it was never no different love. All the way down to insurance policy, his name is on there same like any of my other kids. You know what I'm saying? Like everything. I never made no differences. I never let nobody make no differences. If his lips get a little bit too fly, and I know, cause like my daughter told me before I came here, she was like, "Stay calm, Mom. Don't get excited, cause." They tell me about what gets to popping out on me. I mean, they get to telling me the different things. Of course, I don't see them. You feel me? But but when when I'm in there and when it comes down to if my conversation, my interacting with you, no matter how much I love you, even if you came from me,
Right.
if it's gonna put me on the verge of popping a blood vessel. You know what I mean? Because it's like my daddy. Like I said, I really had to calm down. They told me at one point I was going to need to be on medicine for the rest of my life for my temper. And I'm like, what? God made me this way. You know what I'm saying? I don't need taking none of y'all medicine or none of that stuff. You know, I just look like this. I'm just like anybody else. I'm cool till I'm not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he spoke about the self-development book for the hood. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so like, one thing about me, if my people got a mission, if it's anything I can do, I always say, let me know if it's anything I can do. Well, I had asked this gentleman to be my mentor because he has a couple of books out.
What's his name?
His name is Charles Dunn. Charles Sook Dunn. Yes. So I asked him to be my mentor on the books and everything because I've got a couple of books that, you know, I'm ready to release, you know, but for whatever reason, I don't give it the full attention that it deserves, you know. So when my brother, you know, I called him about, because I don't eat burgers, I don't eat regular meat no more. So I called him about some hamburgers, some Impossible burgers or something. I didn't know what they was called, but I was at Whole Foods, so I hit him up. I'm like, bro, what's the name of them burgers?
Right.
Burgers is they were fire. So he told me what they were, and so then he asked him what he had going on. So he told me he's looking for somebody to edit this book. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I'll do it, you know, whatever. I didn't know this book was like 700 pages. This book is almost 300,000 words. I'm like, bro, this is going to be a series. But it's so good because I'm like, I've given everything to it. Like I said, I was in that car accident, so I got taken off work. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, the same day I was taken off work because of therapy, he told me what I do, it was interfering with my treatment. So the same day they took me off of that was the same day I called him about some burgers. So I'm like, bro, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking that's no greater mentoring than I could get than to edit your book. You know what I'm saying? There's somebody who conversation, when you leave them, their conversation lingers with you. You know what I'm saying? So he's streetwise, but he's educated on another level, like that. He's educated on a level that is just so
like profound. It's different.
It's different. It's different. It's different to where, like, this is why I feel like I was being formed, like not being formed, but being prepped for this years ago in doing research for my book. Like I said, I naturally study neuroplasticity and neuroscience and everything because I was having, like, I'm a homeschooler. So I was seeing things in my daughter that they couldn't explain to me. And, you know, and I'm not the one that's just going to take mine to no doctor and let them tell me what they found. You know what I'm saying? Because I can do my due diligence too. I'm not just going to be one of the people to say you got 6 months to live and I schedule my funeral and say my goodbyes and get prepared like, okay, is now's the time for me to die? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to fight, right? So that's the same thing like with the herbs and all that type of stuff. So I'm not going to let them just say that this is what's wrong with it, especially when they couldn't explain it. It didn't make no sense. And so I started studying the neuroplasticity and everything. But yeah, see. But the thing is just always trying to, you know, so when I was studying that, there's a chapter in this book where he's talking to a young lady. And he's breaking it down in this book, but it's to a little girl. Now, I can understand what he's saying, just reading it because I speak this language.
Right.
This little girl, no matter how good of a student she is, if she don't know the language, she got to get the vocabulary down first. So my job as the editor was to come in and present it in a fashion, like maybe I might need to cut it up a little bit smaller for her, you know, just or whatever, because as I learn, I teach my children from the 14-year-olds all the way up to the grown ones, you know what I'm saying? When I was learning how to trace a drop of blood through the heart, I'd go home and teach my babies, you know, so which is how we're supposed to.
Right.
But, yeah.
So to me, I think I want to put it all the way together for you because that makes perfect sense on what we do here, right? So here on Legendary People Podcast, there's a thing called the butterfly effect, which is something you said during the course of the interview or something I found in the course of my research that I found truly profound and like amazing. I mean, just going back to just like today, like you seem just like so cool, so major, like to me, like you give that feel, and that's a lot of things we already know about all of our legends from here. It's like we go be in these rooms with these people that are legendary mega stars to everybody else, and we just so cool and like you know what I'm saying, like a story with Pac where it's like, man, he get that every single day. Or you could be so cool in there with Biggie, but you still respect him enough to go outside the room to write your rap so you don't make him feel a certain type of way. It's like we have this innate thing from here where it's like we have that type of the championship DNA in us. You are exactly that. I mean, like for you going to New York or you going to Atlanta, you being around these different people, you having these different experiences, these all are things that like that benefited you later on with things now. Like even when you speak about your dad, like your face lit up, and then you literally said the same thing that I feel about you. Like when you said he's like strong-willed, and you know what I mean. Like all those things are in your DNA that made you who you are today. I mean, like you saved his ass when he almost got beat about some bloods. You know what I'm saying? And like you said before, it wasn't no sweat off your back. It's just who you are. You know what I'm saying, as a person. And then it seems like every time like you went through something that would be like traumatic or something like that, like you said before, like me and Smith say, when you lose like a parent or somebody close to you, you gain them in a certain way. Yeah. That could have been Papa Bear making sure, like, because like the way he had you, like what your mom would say, you was different because you was saying how it was. Yeah. You went there with that mindset of we coming here and it ain't for that. You know what I mean? Right. I'm not here for that. Those type of things are the person that made you today, to the point where like you literally just helped this guy with his book because you can put words together in a way he can't. That's something that benefits you from you being a rapper. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what to say that's going to benefit and move and shape the way someone's going to learn, and you've learned in your same process. To me, you are unequivocally a legend. I mean, you got like this Angie Martinez vibe about you. Like I swear I could talk to you all day, every day. Like I mean, this camera ain't got to be on for that, but I want to say you are absolutely a legend. I mean, like, bro undersold you to me. You know, I was like, you know what I'm saying, off what he said, because, I mean, I really didn't know that much, but I'm intrigued. Like, yeah, you definitely got to finish that book. Yeah. So you also have a podcast.
Yeah, so let me round off that book. So that book, like I said, that I was editing real quick, it's Sandpaper to Silk. And it's like Charles Silk done, and it's everything. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, right, I've grown. I've grown so much just in editing it, you know what I mean, to where, and I had to take my time with it to make sure it's done right, because I don't ever want to be a part of something that, because of my lack of being so granular and making sure things are right, that if me lacking in that, it could cause somebody to see it and be like, oh, this ain't nothing. I mean, I want it to be like a Park City, like anywhere you stop it, it's going to be somewhere hot. You know what I'm saying? So the book is already well written. My thing was just that icing on the cake, you know, making sure it flows the way it's supposed to, but it's Sandpaper to Silk. But, and then like my own book, like that definitely is coming, you know, and I'm looking forward to it, because it's amazing how, like I said, I always go out harder for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn 2 programs to do that. You know, things that I'm like, I don't have time to learn. Like I said, I got all this studio equipment, but it's like, well, but I ain't got time to learn all this stuff right now. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I even learned how to start playing stuff on 2 times the speed just to get more books in faster and listening to them. Yes. But thank you for your words, because it's like, it was just an honor. When I seen that, it just like touched my heart so deeply, because I think people got this whole thing twisted. You know, a lot of times, you know, we could take something great and we could reduce it to what someone else sees it as, or what they can benefit from being in what fashion. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I always do what's on my mind. Like how I said, we did a song for my mother, my whole family. You know what I'm saying? To where when I went to see my mother, I hadn't seen her in a long time, but I was able to hold her hand. She don't even know who I am. But I could hold her hands and I could feel that peace, and when I rub her head and everything, and I could see that peace come over her and her not want to let go. And I'm playing this song that we made with her voice on there first, from when she was still with me. You know what I'm saying? Down to me telling her, you know, it's gonna be okay, telling her about we going through this virus, you know, and saying things in it. I know, like when I'm talking about, she tell me to go to the store, you know, I go west to hit the bird when the store was east and south, you know what I'm saying? But I had to go west, because I'm going to ride the bird. If you want me to go to the store, I got to ride the bird first. And then I'm like, okay, right. You know, but she said, did you want to go to the store? Do I get to ride the bird? You know? Right. But bringing up those old memories for her, and then having all my brothers and sisters call in and hear their voices, I know that reached her deep in her mind. But when she heard her grandson's voice that she raised, I saw her temples, something hit her deep, which that was her everything. You know what I'm saying? He is her, like, world. So I'm like, it's reaching her. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you know, even learning how to do different things and just having that passion. That hip-hop was a vehicle for me to be able to do that for her. But she's also, well, my mom can still, maybe not right now, but if she was to get back, well, when she gets back with me, and I get her back on her regimen she was on, and she gets back flowing. My mom was out freestyling me like 2 years ago. Wow. My mom, she, you know, like literally, she says that I came out rapping, but now I know why. My mom still can out skate me. I got videos, and then she wouldn't even remember that she just skated. Wow. You know what I'm saying? But it's natural. But like I said, she, you know, like I tell her on that song, we're going to rap and freestyle, because that was our thing. We rap, And my mom's in her 80s, and she would be freestyling with me. I'd be just so blown away. You know what I'm saying? And always, that's why I had so much footage on her. Because when she was still to where, you know, that was her thing. She knew we was doing this. Like, I got websites, domains. Like, y'all start buying up them web domains. Get that digital real estate. You know what I'm saying? But, like, I bought up her stuff for her. You know what I mean? Because we got to get so serious about these gifts and talents that we have and stop saying this is just for the and this shit and this bullshit that just went down at that Astro World and all that type shit. Quit reducing something so great that it belongs to people that's going to do just that with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have an educational program. You got to know how to use the right and the left sides of your brain. You know what I'm saying? We got to use these things. We got to reach people. And then case in point, like with my mother being in her position now, but I can still help her dream go on. You know what I'm saying? If I just keep doing what I got to do, you know.
Exactly.
But thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This has been a very, very legendary podcast interview. I really appreciate you coming here and telling us your life story, which I know there's so many different layers and more to it. So you can always come back, especially when you drop your book. So you come here and promote this part of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how the media tour. Okay, you come back across here. We ain't got a whole long conversation. We'll talk about the book and everything that's in it, some of the contents, and especially some of these stories with Pocket Biggie and stuff like that. Man, shout out to
send us out with our sponsors.
For the sponsor for sure. Shout out to Shiekhs for breakfast. My man Ron C. Make sure y'all go to Agnes All Natural Grill for lunch. You want to get bent? Get you some Kiara Wine. If you are ever injured in an accident, please contact attorney Michael Wright. Make the right choice. And the last one is theshoparea.com. That's baby Amazon, from the store to your door in 4 business days, man. T-shirt Kings47.com --resource. Get you some merch, man. Capital's clothing, man. My man Ease, man. What's good, bro?
Gwenny B, send us out, Gwenny B, with advice to the young women who want to be rappers.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you was out, you wasn't on the sex image how they're out these days. So what should the younger female rappers do to not, really have to follow showing their bodies and whatnot?
Well, I think it really goes back to that self-development because, like I said, maybe if that's what I was on, maybe that's what it would have been about, but that wasn't what I was on, so that just wasn't what it was about for me. And even I even felt so bad because brother just passed last year. Valentino. Chino Valentino.
Chino Valentino.
Yeah.
I done that music with him.
Chino and I have met recently, and he wanted me to do a track with him. He was like, I'm about to go ahead and still drop. That's when he's working on his project that he had just dropped before he left us. But he wanted me to do a song with him. You know what I'm saying? And I got little girls, you know what I'm saying? And I got, and it wasn't anything he was asking me to do that was disrespectful, and I know that I could have done it in a tasteful fashion, but I'm just at that point now where in life, I mean, I was so happy when his project dropped, and I felt kind of bad, but I told myself, I said, you just got little girls, you know what I'm saying? So you got to think about things like that. But I feel like even beyond, being a female and like aspiring to like do great music, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever you want to do, like whatever, there is absolutely nothing that any of us can't do. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't believe in yourself or you're around people that don't believe in you, I believe in you. Like real talk, like so wholeheartedly. And I get so mad when people try to reduce people and want to put them in their box. Like my thing is, with my company, there is no box, no ceiling, no limit. You know what I'm saying? There's absolutely nothing you can't do. You know what I'm saying? If you can think it, you know what I'm saying? You can do it, because everything begins with a thought. You know what I'm saying? But we just got to remember that when we want to do a thing, because nobody can tell us that the way we feel about anything is right or wrong. So if our heart desire is something and everybody else may not approve of it, but to us it's not wrong, nobody can really tell us that thing is wrong to us. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is just to be here, like you supposed to, any place you go, you supposed to leave it better than when you got there. You feel what I'm saying? So just like this world, leave this here world a little bit better, that to where if it's not going, you can do you, but if it at the risk of it's going to hurt someone, because some people can't, you might meet somebody, they right there at the end. You know what I'm saying? And you might be that one fucked up comment person, you know what I'm saying, that could just push them over to where like they just like, You know what I'm saying? Because people are out there hurting like that. Because when I was doing gospel, I had people tell me they would play that music till they was out of that, and they looked to people to lift them up. Because everybody didn't get that preaching my mama gave me and my brothers and sisters like she did on that song. You know what I'm saying? So, but we gotta be mindful of that. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing that we can't do. You know what I'm saying? And you got to understand this was really messed up as a woman, you know, dealing in this industry, and it's really sad. See, like when I started rapping, it wasn't a bunch of female rappers. It was Fatback. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it was 8-track. It was turning down the singing vocals or whatever and just turning up their microphone and rapping to that beat. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't a thing of, well, I'm going to do the female rap or I'm going to do this and that. I just rap. You know what I'm saying? So then when it came down to the industry, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times, it could be shady as a woman, you know what I'm saying? You know, guys that don't want to mess with you unless they messing with you, you know what I'm saying? And things like that. And I mean, just a lot of things, but I understand a lot of things too. Like when you go to them interviews, like in the New York or whatever, you got to understand, like when they ask you, do you have any kids? Are you married? They want to know if you're going to be bringing a bunch of drama, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So if you just want to make good music, and you just want to contribute it and share your music with the world, the internet leveled the playing field. And these workstations are so cheap right now. Hell, you can get $2,500 and have everything you need. Hell, I just bought a new piece of equipment. That one piece of equipment that I bought that was $600 canceled out. All kind of equipment. I got it all in this one. You know, some people like, well, that $600 could be a little steep, and I get that. You know what I'm saying? But I also know it alleviated. But me, I'm also that one that I give away stuff when I use it no more or whatever. But the point is that you gotta make your own. Invest in yourself. Make your own beats. Make your own music.
Print your own merch or holler at me.
Do your own merch. Do your go online, get Legal Shield or something like that. Get you a legal attorney. Do a corporation. It's like $200 set up a corporation. Something like that. Set up you a corporation. Set up. Hell, I got record company, publishing companies, all type of stuff. But own your shit. Don't let nobody talk you into where they think, like when we were in New York, they was talking about, Shorty, they ain't gonna give you 50%. They talking about wanting to give us like half of our writing. I'm like, nigga, just like I wasn't up with you when you was making them beats, you wasn't up with me when I was writing that rhyme.
Oh God.
You know what I'm saying? So, and they was like, well, they ain't gonna do that. They did it. They did it. You know what I'm saying? So, just, if that's what you're gonna do, just be 10 toes down, because the love you may have for it, some people just looking at it as a way to eat. And people eliminating people. You know what I'm saying, over music, that really be blowing my mind, because music is the most beautiful thing. Like you think about it, hell, when you're laying you to rest, what they doing? They playing music, trying to soothe people and everything. Just music is just everything to me.
So man, thank you so much. Legendary View Podcast, legendary people, legendary stories, man.
Yeah.
And we